intro, right?
Go for it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final week and finals week of Clash Royale Spring Season. I'm here, I'm Antpulio, and I'm here joined by my co-caster, Dr. Watson, and hello there.
How you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since we've last been here. Of course, if people have been watching closely, I got to appear last week for the grand final of the well, not the grand final, the final of last week's, the final before the grand final, as we were calling it. But yes, we have finally made it to the big day. How are you feeling, Ant? Looking at our 5 competitors who will be in this final for us.
I'm looking, pretty looking forward to it, to put it bluntly. It's certainly going to be a fun time tonight, a fun cast, and it's not going to be a matchup that isn't going to be good. I'd like to say, I would think so, and I hope they will deliver.
Oh, indeed. We have best of 5s for you all night, chock-a-block with Clash Royale content, until, of course, that grand final, a best of 7. Talk about a stamina fight where whoever's coming through from winner's bracket will come in with 1 extra win under their belt, which could matter, but it's not such a big advantage that will put them on the back foot. Now, our 5 competitors. Chocoholic, our highest scorer from the 7 weeks of playoffs, looking very comfortable on that first seed. We have Mushroom, who has the most number of wins from the playoffs with a whole 3. And as last season's number 2, I bet we're hoping to make that a number 1. Superbro, who every week has turned up to the tournament, has got a first or second, which is consistency. And now being third place seed, well, he's looking in good competition to win. Will CR, of course, our last season's number 1, and has a chance to take a second grand final. Bit of a disadvantage coming in only at 4th seed, but it's not over for him. And of course, our Sparky wielding wildcard that is JJ Legend. It's going to be very exciting to see these titans clash out in this arena tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly one way to put it. And as you may see at the top, the first game is going to be JJ Legend versus Will CR. And as you mentioned, Will did win last season. This season, not so much, not been doing so well. Hasn't actually won a week. And as you said, JJ, up-and-comer, I think he won spring season last year, around that time anyway, so it's been a while, but he's been doing very well this season so far, so this is definitely going to be a good match. Is the former champion, or currently holding champion, going to come back and come into this finals week with a massive swing and come in hitting, or is JJ just going to knock him down to the low bracket straight away? It's certainly could go either way.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see as we have a quick look at the bans. Will has banned Fireball, a common ban as we know, a very, very versatile spell, especially for Will, who loves those hogs, and they get fireballed out very nicely. JJ Legend has banned Balloon, which, as we know, is a common ban as well, trying to deal with that big hit. But interestingly, Will has not banned JJ's legendary Sparky as we roll into the first game of the grand finals.
He's certainly doing rolling in. Well, that cannon card's going to do quite a bit of rolling forwards. Should take down the Ice Wizard, which is the high damage. Certainly beats the slumming effect from the Ice Wizard. Goblin Cage placed by JJ to defend the tower, soak up all that damage, but he's actually going to get taken down and get off a few shots, doing a bit of damage, perhaps more than JJ would have liked. In the meantime, well, he's dropped a giant skeleton. Still very useful. Does take a bit of damage from the Goblin, supported by the Flying Machine. And Skeleton Barrel coming in as well, but the Lightning from JJ. That's going to take down Skeleton Barrel. Skeletons are going to finish off the Lumberjack, but that attack's basically been taken out.
Yeah, that was extremely well dealt with JJ going for that Lightning. Not something you'd expect to see right in the middle. Lots of people like to use Lightning to make sure they get some tower damage as well, forward a push, or mostly with attacking units already around a castle. But to see it used defensively around the bridge like that was impressive and, pretty rare. As we see a Hunter coming in from the back from Will, who looks like he's going to be running the double Giant deck that we've seen a fair bit of Giant Skeleton and Royal Giant. JJ yet to really see his true focus, though Lumberjack and Ice Wizard. This could be his classic deck, with the 2 things remaining, of course, being his Goblin Giant and his legendary Sparky. But let's see as we have another mid-fight rumble, and the Giant Skeleton starts making its progress. It's going to get shut down just about by this Baby Dragon, and the Flying Machine will, well, pick off the Goblin cards, Goblin Cage, and JJ needs to come up with something to deal with this threat that's coming in the air right now.
Yeah, well, the Tornado looking to do the trick, but the clone is perfect. Gets all the skeletons straight on the ground, and when actually getting off quite a few hits, a lot of damage done to the tower, but doesn't quite take it down. but a substantial amount, and definitely puts JJ on the back foot. Definitely perhaps what JJ's feeling right now. Obviously, 640 HP, that's not a lot at all. He's going to try hold on instead. He's going for a bit of a right side push. Baby Dragon down, and Goblin Cage sitting there defensively. Ice Wizard is going to get picked off by the Giant Skeleton and the Hunter too. Flying Machine there for the support. Is going to be taking down the Baby Dragon. Lightning once again, striking twice. This is going to be taking down 2 of the units. Giant Skeleton is going to go down as well. Skeleton Barrel back in again. May just reach the tower, but well, get a few hits off, not quite finishing it off though, and there we go, Electro Giant right at the back, and this is JJ's key card that he's going to be using for the attack, but it may be just a little too late.
Well, it's not going to take much from Will here to finish this tower off. A bit of splash from something probably will, but he is now going to have to deal with an impressively dangerous looking push from JJ, but the Giant Skeleton, as we know, with its death bomb damage, is a very good way of dealing defensively as the Barbarians go at the back. They are going to get eaten away relatively fast by that Electro Giant, but not fast enough. And now, well, that push is nearly dead, and Electro Giant will nicely clean it off. Will's going to struggle to find something, unless he has a direct damage spell in that one last remaining slot. But JJ needs to pull off a very impressive push to do much at all here and not make this very stalemate-y, which is looking like it could be, as this Electro Giant is going to get stopped pretty much just out the tower, getting a few decent hits in, but it's not going to be enough for the comeback that is going to be required here from JJ Legend as we're moving into almost our last minute of overtime. Interesting to see a clone deck coming out from Will, with both Giant Skeleton and Skeleton Barrel being very nice when cloned, being able to put a lot of pressure on for only a little bit extra elixir. But JJ now going to try and force a push in through somewhere. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be interesting, and Will perhaps slightly slipping. The Barbarian's taken down by the Barbarian Barrel and the Baby Dragon and Ice Wizard combo. And well, the Tornado is going to pull them back, reset them slightly, but they're still going to continue pushing forward. And there you go, the arrows coming out, but they're not at high enough damage to take down this tower. And he can't really, we can try to cycle, whether he will in the end when he gets triple elixir, which I think is actually now, he may just try go for that. Either that or hold out. Drops another Skeleton Barrel, Flying Machine doing a lot of damage. Barbarian's going back down once again. Electro Giant is going to take down that Cannon Cart. Barbarian's going to do a lot of damage. And then once again, the Skeleton Barrel is going to reach the tower. It pops, but they're mopped up by the Barbarian Barrel. 30 seconds left. And Will, he may just hold on here, just enough to at least wait until the end of time and win on HP.
Well, we're going to see how important those very powerful bombs are as the clone spell decides to drop 2 bombs at the bridge, not allowing anything over for JJ Legend. This is over. Will has successfully won his way through a heavy amount of defense and a couple of good pushes. Well, through the use of that Skeleton Barrel, giving him the first game here of the night in the finals, and 1-0 against JJ Legend in this first round match.
Yeah, and it's all love here from JJ. As I say, Will does take the first one, but it is a best of 5 if you're only just tuned in. So Will, he's going to win 2 more, and JJ, I don't think he wants that to happen. He doesn't want to go down to the lower bracket so early. So, well, he's going to be fighting for another lifeline. Obviously, he's going to be on the back foot now. Can he go back and take these 3 maps?
Well, let's hope he can. Will, of course, using a very interesting, very defensive deck there with those Giant Skeletons and Clone. A lot of bombs on the bridge, things that will be a distant memory soon with the most recent update to Clash Royale been announced and those balance changes. I can now see why Will was particularly worried about them coming in. For those who don't know, balance changes were rumoured to take place today and have been narrowly avoided, much to the joy of pretty much all competitors here. They didn't want those quick changes, and one of the major ones was the bomb tower damage reduction, or bomb damage reduction from the Giant Skeleton, reducing its defensive prowess. And we saw that being very helpful here. But JJ struggling to find a push there, didn't get that Electro Giant until far too late, and couldn't, it's not a very defensive card, the Electro Giant. It requires something behind it, and it was already too late by the time that Electro Giant was going down. Will had already got too many good hits in.
Yeah, that was really the thing, honestly. The fact that it was, he got into double elixir the last minute and it was already on 600 HP, was it? Yeah. You can't really do anything with that. And at that point, JJ started making progress. He started doing damage to the tower, but it was just way too late, as you said, and Will could just sort of finish off getting the barrels there. And one barrel slips through, cracks, that's extra damage to the tower. 1 or 2 skeletons get a hit off, and they're so finicky, the skill skeletons just getting hits off. It can work, and obviously we did see it work, and we'll have to see, has JJ learned his lesson as well? Straight away kicks it off with a bit of a bang, but not quite yet. The minions are going to be taking down those wall breakers. No explosions just yet, and going to be taken down by the tower, as the Prince is going to be going through, getting the charge damage off, and take down the Mini P.E.K.K.A, who's putting it at the back by JJ, but Mini P.E.K.K.A coming out on top, should be finished off by the tower, and so far, nothing quite shown until a Miner and a Rage coming out. Actually, a defensive Rage, and a Musketeer 2 taking down the minions. As the Miner, he's going to try to get a few hits onto the tower. And he does do a bit of damage, but nothing too substantial.
I have a feeling JJ was hoping that Musketeer would turn around and get a few more shots off the Miner there. But yes, defensive Rage is always interesting. Getting it on both her Princess Tower and the Musketeer. Don't know if that was meant to be played on purpose, couldn't tell. But Will is definitely playing a much faster game than last time compared to that defensive playstyle we saw. With the Wall Breakers and Miner, very speedy cards, and even the Knight itself makes well played. As there it is! JJ Legend's legendary card, that is the Sparky.
Oh no!
Zap, of course, though, being a very good counter to it. Can he let this Sparky go off? It does, but it is on next to no health. Another Zap spell will easily do it. Hunter at the back will nicely help clean up this giant goblin as it makes its way through. It starts getting raining damage onto the tower with the Mega Knight saying, I'm not going to deal with that Sparky. Let's go, Hunter, and make a good push with full health.
Yeah, but it's a lot of damage done onto Will's tower. But, well, in terms of Elixir, JJ, he's got quite a lot in the bank. And the Mega Knight, he's going to actually get the damage off. Mini P.E.K.K.A trying to clear up the Hunter. Doesn't actually, gets taken down in the Zap. Way too late. And Will, he just pushed all the way through the Mega Knight, completely clearing out the tower with the help from the minions. And, well, JJ, he's going to be fighting the back foot for the rest of this game. He's not got the Elixir bonus or the extra Elixir to help him either. I think this might be over already.
I have a worrying feeling it is. Will be able to pull off here that Hunter and Mega Knight right at his back. You know, it's a lot of Elixir and a very powerful combination to push with. As a Knight gets a charge in on the right-hand side with the Miner tanking, Sparky's going to clean that up nicely. However, now JJ Legend has to push into the lane where he has the least amount of damage, and that's not going to help the fact he needs to get it on the other side, as he understands this himself. Goblin Giant and Mini P.E.K.K.A. The Goblin Giant is going to connect nicely with some Rage to boost. Is he going to be able to defend the right-hand side? Does so with the Sparky. Mega Knight cleaning up everything and not enough damage on that left-hand tower. This is looking very good for Will, who can now play with a kind of small push on either end. Sparky is going to get it shot off on the right-hand tower, but it's too little too late. Never think you'd say that for about a Sparky. But it is at this point. There's not enough damage to be done, I think. And I think Will has taken our second game.
Yeah, Zap's coming in. Miners, Hunter trying to do everything he can. And, well, he's not going to get enough hits off. 455 HP, and the split offense almost worked out. If he would have taken that tower, JJ could have taken it in overtime, but unfortunately, he can't. And Will is the man to take that victory in the second map. And, well, looking to take it 3-0 fashion. I may have predicted this out before, and that said, Will's going to be coming into it. He's going to be prepared, and he wants to retain that title, and we can see here. That's exactly what's happening so far.
We did say we'd know how Will was going to play based on what we see out of him here. If he just makes it through or loses this game, it's probably not his night. But this, at the moment, looking like he's going to take a 3-0 victory. This could be his night to keep hold of his throne as the top dog here at the Newell. Very interesting plays from both of them there. We saw the Hunter do a lot of work from behind, and the Sparky, well, it got one hit off, but as always, it's mostly scary than anything else, and Will was more than ready with that Zap to deal with that scary threat.
Yeah, and he dealt with it very well. I feel like perhaps, I don't know if it's the play style, but Will kind of started not losing it, but very perhaps overconfident or just letting it slide a bit too sloppy. The fact that it was so much damage across both towers, one had 1,000, one had 400. If JJ was just a bit luckier, he could have taken that and actually won, but fortunately for Will, it did work out in his favour. And well, once again, starting off in exactly the same fashion, once again, the exact same thing occurs. Wall breakers down, and they do get taken out. Miner going to be trying to get a few hits off onto the tower. He does do that, and the Fisherman, we've not actually seen him too much this tournament. We saw him a bit, I think, earlier on, but in the last few weeks we haven't. Obviously, his pull mechanic's very useful, and we'll have to see if JJ can use him and efficiently in this match to try and get through the reverse sweep and take the next 3 maps.
Sorry, the efficiently there caught me slightly off guard as the Knight gets caught off guard by the Mega Knight dropping in. Very nicely done there. Can the Mega Knight won't have anything behind it as it's a Mega Knight duel for both of them. Let's have some large jumping noises, everybody. It's going to be a splash fest. Will, we're seeing a very similar deck to last time, well, probably the same one at this point, where JJ Legend has pulled out something entirely different with Zappies at the back. Mine is going to come through, and with that Mega Knight tanking, he's going to be allowed to get a few hits in, but the Fisherman is going to try and reduce that. Fisherman's DPS is not that high because of his mechanic of grappling being more than enough, but neither's the Miners, though this is looking like a pretty positive advantage for Will as he lets that Goblin get his one clobber on the right-hand tower.
Yeah, only a bit though, as JJ looking for a bit of an elixir advantage here. So Wall Breakers go down once again. Hunter is going to clear them up very easily. One shot, nothing extra needed. Well played indeed, and with that Hunter on the map, he's going to be basically neutralized by the Prince, who just soaks up the damage. He's down. He's looking to get his charge off, but the Zappies, they're already down, and they're going to take him out with ease. All, well, just completely preventing any sort of a build-up of damage. Can't even get to him. He gets one hit off onto one of them. And, well, they do shut it down. So Goblin Cage plays very defensively and perhaps waiting for Will to cycle back these wall breakers as we get into double elixir, first minute or last minute of standard time. And Mega Knights, one each at the back of the map as they, well, I believe they'll clash right in the middle with that jump bonus damage.
Yeah, I feel there was a moment of, oh, here we go, we're both doing this. As the wall breakers come in on the right-hand side, Will's decided he needs to get a break on it, and does so. One makes its way through with a lot of minor damage, giving him options on both sides. And as JJ Legend has yet to get any damage off, as we see the Graveyard appear, being tanked for by the Goblin from the Goblin Cage. And that's a juicy amount of damage on the top right-hand side, as a Hunter and Mega Knight connect on the left. JJ Legend may have an opportunity here to start taking a very good advantage, and does so. That Hunter's not going to get that final shot off, but with 596 health on that right-hand tower, JJ Legend could still take this quite safely. No big spells left, but Graveyard, we were not expecting that at any point.
He certainly weren't, and I don't think Will was, as you can see. The Hunter, firing for a few more shots, isn't going to get any more damage onto the tower, but it may, well, not quite done just yet. 430 HP, and Will is got a lot of catching up to do. Both towers nowhere near that HP as the Mega Knight goes down. Goblin from the cage right behind him as the Mega Knight's going to come in, take down the Zappies, but the Fisherman, the Goblin, and the Mega Knight combined are going to do too much damage, and there we go. The Graveyard, they're all hitting in the backyard. And, well, those arrows, they're going to be the thing to finish off the tower. JJ, he's going to take one back, and is this a reverse sweep, or is JJ just trying to put up a bit of a fight?
Well, I hope he's definitely putting up a bit of a fight either way, but this could indeed be a reverse sweep. That Graveyard came out of nowhere. I think we were very surprised by that. And Will didn't really have much to answer it with. I guess he had a Hunter in his hand, but I feel like he never had that in rotation at the right time and really just lacked something. And we saw JJ at the end there build up a really good push with Mega Knight and the Hunter next to it. No, not that, and the Goblin cage with the Graveyard as well. There was just so much going on in that push there at the end there. It was almost guaranteed to go JJ's way as he takes that third game of this best of 5. And hey, well, there's a reason we're going to best of 5 in the final.
Exactly, and well, if we didn't, it would have been over already, but we've got plenty more to come as JJ looking very very strong in that last map. Perhaps he's changing his ideas up as well. Well, he's going back to basics. Skeleton Barrel going down, taken down once again by the Goblin Cage, and I think JJ's had a Goblin Cage every single time, so it's well, very versatile card as the Hunter once again is brought out as well. And well, nothing so far, not much damage. He does get one punch off and does a bit of damage to the Hunter, but the Fisherman once again brought out by JJ. And the question is this going to be the same deck as last time? Obviously it worked, but will fall for the same thing twice as he does drop the Giant Skeleton right at the back. Maybe he's going for his double giant deck again.
It could be, or we could be seeing that defensive clone deck again, especially with the skeleton barrel. It does look like it with everything else, as that giant skeleton is going to probably be dealt with on the bridge, and he's not going to be able to push anything behind it because of that death bomb. And the Hunter is also going to go down to it, leaving these barbarians with the skeleton barrel and the flying machine looking very tasty. And there's the clone spell on a lot of barbarians. That's going to look quite scary from JJ's end. Has he got anything? The snowball will clean up, and it's actually a lot of stuff got nicely moved on to that center hub, but not enough, as a lot of damage has been rained down on that left-hand tower for JJ. Very nicely played there with Will with the clone spell. Not where he expected to be placed, but it worked out very nicely with that number of barbarians. And the Goblin Cage acting as a solid distraction for JJ, but not quite enough to deal with everything, as another giant skeleton is placed at the back for Will, who will be wanting just to repeat that last encounter again.
Yeah, that was so beneficial. And the fact that JJ he didn't have arrows cycled ready. If he had arrows, they would have cleaned everything up and looked so much nicer. But unfortunately, he did. The snowball, not wide enough radius. And well, we saw the damage that it's done. As the Fisherman is going to be pulling the giant skeleton right out of rotation, straight into the middle. And they're both going to be splitting and running away from that bomb. Does absolutely nothing to anyone. As well, the cannon cart goes down. Will, once again, bringing out the card that does a lot of damage. Soaks a lot of damage from the Mega Knight as the Graveyard comes down from JJ. Barbarians looking to try take down those skeletons. We're going to get a few hits off from the tower, but once again, nothing too drastic. There's a skeleton barrel and the hunter, followed by the barbarians. The clone coming out too. Will, he's once again on for such a big attack, but the arrows coming out from JJ. This time, he does have them ready, and they're going to be taking down that attack with basically little effort.
Well, it's amazing how helpful knowing what your opponent has is at that point. You can pull out those arrows knowing that they're going to clone. He puts the hunter on the bridge knowing that that's a sacrifice to stop this giant skeleton getting anywhere. The Mega Knight needs to get his jump off and no, it doesn't. It gets taken down by the bomb, giving the cannon car and barrel. Flying machine, this is a good chance for Will to get a push in here. He's already looking quite strong as we're about to leave regular time. Can he keep this going as another bombardment of skeletons, and the flying machine brings him down to 394 health. JJ looking extremely weak. Will looks like he's about to take the entire game 3-1. It's looking very strong right now.
He really is. I don't think JJ was expecting that clone spell at all. Like, somehow, for some reason, he wasn't expecting it at all. And that's very well played from Will, as he now decides to go for a bit of a split offensive. Skeleton barrel, cannon car, and a clone spell on the right side. And these skeletons, they may just take down the tower, but the snowball, just in time, is going to finish them off. The giant skeleton's bomb going to take down the attack on the left side from JJ. And the cannon car on the right side, it's clones. You do so much damage. Arrows coming in too. There's such low HP on both towers, and Will, he's so close to victory here, but just not quite there.
I mean, Will can pick a side now and push. I don't think either of those are 1 hour away. Maybe that right-hand side is. But knowing Will, he'll want to do something slightly more fun as the skeleton barrel goes in on the right. Zappies should sort it out, but the clone, there's a lot of skeletons there. Arrows will clean them up nicely. On the left-hand side, the Mega Knight is going to get taken down by the mess of barbarians there. As the graveyard comes in as a last-ditch effort from JJ Legends. It's kind of scrambling to make something happen. Cannon can't play defensively as Arrows goes in. It's not enough, leaving that King Toe active, but I think that was more flair than anything else, as Will knows he just needs to get down to one last set of arrows. 70 seconds on the clock, it doesn't matter. There's the skeleton barrel popping, doing the damage that needs, and Will takes our first game.
He does indeed, and I think at the end, at that point, JJ, he wasn't placing anything. I think he just gave up. I think he knew it was over. 400 HP, and then what was that, 20 HP, just waiting for the arrows or the snowball or whatever to cycle in. It was over, and Will, that was perfectly played. Obviously, that third game, he let it slip. He lost, in the second game, not so confident. But the first and that last game, he was looking so strong. I think they were the same deck as well, so that's definitely his forte at the moment. That's what I assume he's going to be using for the for his decks, his primary deck, to see if he can continue with his victory. And we'll have to see if anyone else, if Soprobro, if Chocoholic, if Mushroom, can have the perfect counters to it. And, well, here we go. Here's the replay of the first game, I believe it is, as the Mega Knight, Hunter, and the minions going down. This wasn't the the skeleton barrel and clone deck, and well, that was it. That was the game-winning moment. It was halfway through the match, and they just got in and destroyed the tower. That was it. And the second one, once again, JJ with a split push, didn't quite work out. Tried to do what he can, but Will, he was just all over him. This was the second one, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's the second game coming to an end there, as we had again from JJ Legend. This was, of course, where JJ Legend got one in with his final epic push after some graveyard shenanigans in the back door, as you put. For those arrows, they're cleaning up the minions and making sure he took that, which would have been the third game. And now here we had the game we just had, the fourth, which was Clone Bonanza from Will, and it just kept on coming. Here was that very impressive clone push. And then we saw again yet another one. This was very scary coming in with this combo not being able to be dealt with. Cloning Cannon Cart, a scary thing, because it does still have an extra hit point, because of course it has to go between cannon moving stage and cannon stage. And yes, this final bit when he had teased him with a double lane push, now Will just had to spam it out with anything he wanted, and did so with a few arrows and that skeleton barrel. Great set of games there overall. JJ Legend, pity to see him go down into loser's bracket, but it's far from over for him. He can definitely make his way back in. We'll see how they're just finishing that game and taking his way into the second round, where he will be fighting our first seed, Chocoholic.
Honestly, I'm surprised, just as a sort of a side comment, I'm surprised we haven't seen the skeleton barrel more this tournament. It's so cheap. It's 3 elixir, and to be honest, the only sort of real counter that you don't lose elixir, or the real counter that you don't lose elixir on, is the graveyard or the cannon, because it basically gets to the tower. Anything like a furnace or inferno tower or goblin gauge, they're all more elixir, so you're logically going to be losing an elixir in the elixir traits. So I'm surprised we haven't seen 2 more, and obviously perhaps now Will's been so good with it. Maybe we'll see some of the other players pick it up, but obviously very late, sort of late in the tournament in this season. We'll just have to see if it's quite as if it's quite as efficient against the other players. I think we'll have to see.
I think we've seen a fair bit of the skeleton battle, but not as much as what it looks like we could have from that. And yeah, it's scary, with clone being very scary, because if you have a lot of units, you just double the mass. And even if, like, you know, they've only got 1 health, those clones, they still have to be dealt with by something. Something has to hit them, otherwise they could do the same amount of damage as a normal unit would. So they've always got to be feared. Anyway, we're going to be walking into our next game straight away. Let's have a quick look at those bans. Mushroom and Super Bro, clash of titans indeed. Mushroom banning Fireball. Well, we've already talked about the power of the banning of Fireball. And Super Bro banning Tornado. Now that screams we might see a return to one of his favourites, Hog Rider. Though it could be anything that you don't want to have accidentally activate the King Tower, like Barbarian, not Barbarian Barrel, Goblin Barrel, or Miner. All things that could be used to activate that King Tower early and put you in a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely, and that's probably the primary sort of reason. Obviously, you can use it against things such as skeleton barrels, clones, and whatnot. Obviously, very versatile card, sort of like arrows, obviously less damage and just better with moving cards and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I would assume would be its primary use. So we'll have to see if he does finally bring out the Hog Rider this season, or if he just goes for something like a Miner and Goblin Barrel sort of cycle, just Miner, Wall Breakers, whatnot. Well, we really have to see, as we should be getting into it relatively soon. And yeah, Fireball ban, obviously we saw Will do it, but it's a versatile card. So it's sort of, perhaps he's been going for the split pushes. Perhaps he sort of enjoyed what Will was doing the other week with his Royal recruits, with his Royal Hogs. Maybe we'll have to see if he does that.
We were expecting Will, having banned Fireball, to bring out Royal Hogs, but he didn't touch it. Instead, we got a load of cards that, yeah, could have been Fireball, Zappies there, and I guess it's a good way of dealing with the clones, but there's better options in the form of arrows and stuff, which I'm surprised wasn't banned. So it'll be just to see why Mushroom has decided to ban the Blazing Ball of Fire. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting way to see how things go. Just taking a moment as they all decide to get their act together. Stupid players. Sometimes they've always got to have their little moments. But we'll be running in Mushroom, of course. Very interesting to see, because he has yet to win. Both of these two are previous season experts. Am I right? You've had experience against both of these two, right, Ant? You're from previous season.
Yeah, my first week in the winter season, I got put against Mushroom and got completely and utterly ruined. And well, yeah, he's certainly a veteran. And Super Bro, unfortunately, he slipped through the finals last season. Obviously, he hasn't done it this season, so we'll have to see if it's actually worth it, if it's worth staying awake for, as he does come across his first opponent in the form of Mushroom. He's going to be dropping a Mortar early on, Cannon Cart to be trying to counter that, but a Cannon Cart of Super Bro's own making. He's going to be dropping that to take down that Cannon Cart, and Cannon Cart fighting one-on-one, and they both basically go down. Obviously, it's still sitting there, can't go anywhere, and gradually its HP will erode away. Nothing done so far as Zappies are dropped to the back by Mushroom. And Spear Goblins, in return, be dropped by Super Bro, getting a few hits off onto the tower. Only one there. Nothing substantial. And, well, the game's just about to kick off. Or just kicking off.
Yeah, just kicking off as Mushroom does go for what we're expecting. And those Raw recruits at the back, very defensive card, giving you a lot of options to not take damage. Very nice, they're very nice. As we're seeing a very quick deck from Super Bro, but I'm imagining he wants to try and play those aggressive mortars. But defensive mortar does work extremely well against attacking Raw recruits, being able to hit all three, as the Loon goes down. Oh, sorry, pardon for that. For Mushroom, who is attempting to make a push his way through the Cannon Cart, not quite enough to clean it up, and as doesn't turn into a building, allowing the balloon to get 1, 2, and possibly even a third bomb off. That's deadly, and Super Bro's left-hand tower is already going to fall that soon to Mushroom. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of like totes, if anything. It's an understatement of this tournament. That's not good at all. He's lost the tower. He's done nothing. It's a Mushroom, and Mushroom, he can just sit here looking pretty. Look at that bomb tower skeleton, having a whale of a time, dropping that and taking down those hogs. And, well, he even got a positive elixir trade for that. He got, obviously, 4 versus 5. And Super he's got so much work to do. Obviously, still does have those 2 mystery cards that we haven't seen as of yet. Maybe the double elixir is where he's going to shine as the mortar does go down. But, in return, Mushroom, with his Royal Recruits behind the balloon, he's going to be going in, dropping a bomb, arrows to cover him, and the bomb's going to be dropped to take down that Hunter. Should just about, not quite, but the Royal Recruits are getting mopped up by the Hunter, the Knight, and the Royal Hogs going down as well. Looking to do a lot of damage in what they can, but that bomb tower actually taken down by the Hogs and the Earthquake spell. They're going to get quite a few hits off. The Zappy's going to be coming down in return from Mushroom, trying to take them down, but there's 2 cannon carts here. This is actually a lot of damage.
Yeah, but the Hunter's very good at dealing with clusters of stuff. Can these cannon carts push through? No, they both become cannons too far away for the tower. The Hunter's going to be able to take a few as it tanks, but these Hogs are going to get cleaned up probably by another bomb tower. No, there's not enough elixir with the tank. As a snowball Earthquake, not going to be enough though. Is there going to be enough for these final few seconds of damage? It doesn't quite look like it. SopaBro is going to lose out because that cannon cart did not take enough damage earlier on to take some of the hits from that balloon from Mushroom. Woof, that's one of the few times you want a card to take more damage.
Yeah, I was going to say that's something you rarely see that you wanted it to get destroyed to draw away the balloon, but well, I don't know if it's unfortunate or just bad luck or what, or just better planning perhaps from Mushroom. Obviously that balloon single-handedly, what was that, 3 hits? Just takes down that tower and just runs completely riot. So obviously very valiant effort coming in on the right side, very nearly took down that tower. Nice cycle when we saw the Earthquake coming out, cycling the Royal Hogs, cycling the Earthquake and whatnot. It almost worked. Unfortunately, didn't work. And Mushroom, he can take them out. No matter how close it was, it doesn't matter. It's a 1-0 victory so far for Mushroom. Obviously, he only needs 2 more to get the victory. SopaBro still in 3, as we do get into the second match. And, well, what are we going to be seeing from both players?
Well, let's find out shortly, as we have another little Mexican standoff, as we often see here, as we work out what we're going to do. Musketeer at the back for Mushroom, and there is the Lava Hound for SopaBro, a common band here. Well, Loon more commonly banned, but they work so well together. And Mushroom is going to punish that huge elixir expenditure by getting a graveyard in quickly, and the Flying Machine is not going to be enough, especially as it's going to start soaking up damage. Mushroom is going to take a first crowd extremely quickly again. Oh, Mushroom is on form tonight. Now, can SopaBro do much in that top right? And the Baby Dragon's going to do a very good job of cleaning everything up. Look at that.
Perfect.
Perfectly played arrows there from Mushroom. We are seeing the top form of Mushroom tonight. That right hand push, SopaBro already on that back foot. That's not going to feel good.
Well, all in for SopaBro. Not quite working out at the moment. Obviously, as you said, he punished him for that very expensive investment in the Lava Hound. And you would hope that it'd work out. He had the Flying Machine, he had the Mega Minion, he had the Lava Hound on its last legs. And then the arrows just come in and go, goodbye, you're out, you're gone. And well, once again, he's going to be trying the Lava Hound. This time on the left side, not going for the right side, the already damaged tower. So it makes me wonder what he's actually thinking. He's still got 3 mystery cards, so maybe he's got a balloon in there. Maybe he's got something different. Maybe he's got a graveyard of his own as a pit poison does go down from Mushroom. And that is going to take down the Knight, but Barbarian's on the right side. Baby Dragon going to be taking them down. As the Lava Hound, he's going to get picked apart by the Musketeer, doing a bit of damage onto the tower. But Lava Hounds, they're not known for their damage. Arrow's clearing them up, and Mushroom, he's looking comfortable.
Yeah. I think SopaBro's plan there was to try and use the Miner to tank for the Lava Pups. However, Arrows is such a great card against the Lava Hound because he just shuts down those Lava Pups instantly. As we see the Graveyard Poison combo of death, slowly dealing with anything that is placed to deal with the Skarmy that appears. And yes, the Graveyard there doing a fair bit of damage again to SopaBro's last remaining Princess Tower. As now he needs to really make a push on that right-hand side. With a Miner hitting the Musketeer, I don't think that's what he'd planned for. This Mega Minion needs to get a couple of good swings off, and he could still bring back in this. Not enough damage, though, leaving that right-hand tower tantalizingly close to death as Mushroom's gone. Well, you can't defend, or you can't attack if you're busy defending.
Yeah, that's basically this point. What it is, he jumps to the graveyard, and as soon as that goes down, SopaBro, his hand's been forced to try. Oh, wait, no, he's had to try to defend, but the Miner and the arrows aren't going to be able to take down the tower. 57 HP left. The Miner, 1 final, or perhaps 2 final hits, would have taken it down, would have taken it to overtime, and you know what, Mushroom probably would have taken it there. Only 800 HP on that final tower for SopaBro, but, well, Mushroom, that early tower just cost SopaBro that victory. that it was beautifully played from Mushroom. What can you say? That's just art, really.
Indeed, Mushroom has mastered the idea of if you take the tower early, you just have a tower advantage. And the best thing is, he still had enough elixir to deal with the attacks that were coming his way. That miner at the end, though. Like, I know, Mushroom would have probably won it anyway in overtime and everything. But come on, don't do that to us, Spider. Just swing the shovel. It's not that difficult. Well, anyway, it's difficult enough, it would seem, as Mushroom now just needs to get one more win against Sobro. Sobro going to have to do a reverse sweep to take this. Mushroom must be feeling pretty confident, Ant.
Well, I think he's always feeling confident, especially from the way he is. He's just, I'm Mushroom, yeah, I'll play with a meme deck, yeah, sure, I'll do this, I'll just do this, I don't really care. He's, maybe that's what he's like, maybe that's not what he's like, and I'm reading him wrong, but, I mean, if he's not confident now, then I don't see when he ever would be. 2-0 up, looking very strong to take this in 3-0 fashion easily versus SoProBro, and looking to continue his journey through the upper bracket. He's definitely happy. As a Hog Rider, finally, I think it's the first time I've seen it this season, being brought out by SoProBro. He's going to get, 3 hits onto the tower before eventually being taken down by the Zappies. So a good start for SoProBro as the archers at the back looking to clear up the Zappies, but they get taken down by the arrows. Knight having to do that job instead. He's going to be able to take them down, not take too much damage, and basically clean house. As the cannon guard, he's looking to clean house versus that Knight. A lot of damage, and, well, the Earthquake's actually going to slow it down, but I don't think it's going to do enough. It's not going to take him down. He's just going to continue. He's going to kill the Knight, and he's going to continue to roll on by.
Yeah, that Earthquake, probably not the best of plays from SoProBro for that elixir cost. Might as well just let it roll through. A little bit of tower damage wasn't really worth it. However, the cannon card does fall short of the tower, which is always good to see. But 2 sets of 3 fresh Royal recruits make their way across. The Knight playing a bit of a distraction with the bomb tower as well. However, the archer's on the wrong side to deal with the Knight, and the bomb tower, of course, can't deal with those air units. So this Loon is looking strong as it's going to connect, at least get one bomb drop off. No! The bomb tower finishing it off just in time, but that's still that def damage looking very strong. However, SoProBro getting another rush in on the top right and dealing a fair bit of damage up there. It's looking relatively good for SoProBro. However, he may not have the answers required for that balloon.
That was so close. He honestly just basically got bailed out by that bomb tower. If that was, what, half a second, a millisecond later, that balloon would have just completely, well, not decimated the tower, but got a massive hit off, given Mushroom such a big advantage that it would have been very awkward for SoProBro to come back from. But obviously, as you can see, he's currently got the left side tower at 1500. So we'll have to see, as we do get into double elixir, quite what he can do to try counter that balloon, as he does have both players actually. Still do have one card left that we haven't quite seen as of yet. Cannon cards and Royal recruits looking to push through. Earthquake, once again, from SoProBro, not doing enough damage to the cannon card. Bit of an odd way to spend 3 elixir, as the balloon and the cannon card on the left side are going to be pushing through. The bomb tower is just perfectly placed. I stand corrected, but the balloon is going to get pulled away from the tower and taken down by the archers. It's actually very well played from SoProBro as he's looking to try and recover it and try perhaps bring it back. As the Earthquake once again cycled back in. He's going to do a lot of damage to the Zappies, but Royal recruits, they're at the back of the bomb site, or back of the map. They're ever encroaching upon these bomb towers.
I feel almost SoProBro is playing the Earthquake here just to try and wrap around, get some more damage as we see yet another Loon go down and yet another Bomb Tower. Bomb Tower actually been quite a good answer to this push because it will deal with the Raw recruits nicely and bring over the Loon. However, that Loon's on a lot of health as it makes its way. Archer turning around and deciding it needs to get involved. That may have just saved SoProBro a lot of damage there, that one shot, as that tower goes down. Hog's going to run in. Bomb Tower is going to clean it up very nicely with the Earthquake spell working alongside. That's going to get a lot of value, and another Hog swing. SoProBro could actually still take this from here. He's going to need to keep cycling like he is and playing very defensively as we see the Royal recruits march back over the line with yet another Loon. But currently, if it keeps cycling the way it is, SoProBro is going to take this. So, oh, those arrows on the other hand may say otherwise. Oh, yes, it's enough to stop that cycle going. Yes, this is looking pretty strong for SoProBro with a minute left on the clock.
It's so close. As you say, it really could go either way at this point. And the thing is, SoProBro, he just needs to hold on, cycle that Hog Rider, get him down. Obviously, the Hunter's out of the way now. He needs to put it back down and get at least 1, 2, 3 hits off. The thing is with Mushroom, all he needs is, what, the balloon just to slip through just a slightly incorrect placement of the bomb tower, and he can get screwed. And, well, SoProBro, he's straying away from the Hog Riders. He's going to be cycling this Earthquake spell, and it works out perfectly. He doesn't need to drop any more Hogs. He just needs to do that, chuck in the Snowball, and he's won. And, well, not quite 3-0 fashion, and Sobero, he's still in it, and well, we'll have to see if he can bring it back in this reverse sweep. Is he going to be doing the same thing again, or is Mushroom just going to come back and go, no?
Well, let's hope he can. It'd be very nice to see Sobero fight back there. Yes, we saw Sobero Hog Rider. It was amazing. However, the card of the game there was his Earthquake. I thought they tried to reduce the power of Earthquake cycle decks, but he seemed to have just about got away with it there. We were questioning a lot of those Earthquake spells, but when it's 3 Elixir, if it's the tower and something else, and it's one of your main forms of damage, you might as well go for it. It is still a pretty cheap card to play. We saw some very defensive plays there from Mushroom, who just wasn't able to get that balloon through, thanks to that bomb tower cleaning everything up quite nicely, bringing things over, and Archers dealing with it as well. And overall, yeah, Sobero scrapes through that game and brings this to 2-1.
Yeah, as I said, like during the match, I think it was two very different playstyles there. Obviously, Sobero just defending and then cycling these cards. Mushroom trying to defend against it and then getting these big pushes through. And the thing was, if Sobero just made a slight error there, he would have been screwed and he would have lost that. And it's very difficult to sort of play that playstyle. He cannot make mistakes. And the thing is, humans, we make mistakes, and if this next match is just like that, he may just make a slip up, which does cost him this game. He's very close to the end here. Well, not the end, obviously goes down in the lower bracket, but he's just gonna be very careful here if that style does continue. Maybe he changes up, maybe he brings out Sparky or something wacky. Who knows? We'll have to see if he does change up his style and just goes for a big push. Maybe he goes for a double giant push. Who knows?
No Sparkies. No, I think only one person's allowed to use them here. I think if anyone else pulled out Sparky, we'd have palpitations on what's going on. But yes, Sobero's gonna have to come back from the very edge here. You're right how fast-paced these playstyles are. Every bomb tower position has to be played perfectly. Only like the balloon had to just kind of casually get through once or twice, or even a few more death damages. It was getting the death damage off, but you know, it's initial hits. If that had been happening consistently, that would have been Mushroom's game. Maybe Mushroom could have found a way of opening up the other lane. Could that have really been an option from there? Probably not, given the push he's running with, and Sobero knowing that he needs to reserve that bomb tower for the balloon. As we wait for them to get in to their, what is this now? This will be the 4th game of this set.
Yes.
Yes.
As you said about split pushes, I think it may have worked. Obviously, as we saw, Sobero was putting the bomb tower very close to the princess tower. Obviously, I guess he didn't want to bait him, bring him out to the sort of the middle sort of thing. Whereas the bomb tower took down the cannon cart, and the balloon just went to the bomb tower. If he put a cannon cart on the other side, he would have forced Sobero to put something down to counter that cannon cart. The bomb tower would have just literally just been a decoy. That was it, no damage. As well, we do get into the 4th match, and we'll have to see if the same sort of thing does occur again. As the Hog Rider has been placed down by Sobero, he does get 1 hit off, but nothing more. Zappy's there to counter it. Log to counter the Zappies. Maybe taking a lot of damage off of them, but they still may just get a few hits off onto, or zaps off onto the Princess Tower, and that's, well, nothing substantial. As a Royal Giant placed right at the back of the arena. Very odd, not seen that often, by Mushroom, and we'll have to see quite what he's got. As well, straight away, we're going 0 to 100 very quickly. Giant Skeleton going down to support the Royal Giant, who's not actually going to get a single shot off. Can't even take down the Bomb Tower. And the Giant Skeleton needs to be taken down as well by the Hunter, the Bomb Tower, and the Spear Goblins, but they, in turn, are going to be cleaned up by that bomb that has been dropped. So, overall, a bit of a slight bonus for Sobero, but, well, there's plenty of game left.
Oh, indeed there is, but Sobero's going to feel happy after that push, and now exactly knowing what to expect from Mushroom. As the Fisherman, as we had said, Sobero had banned that Tornado for a reason, knowing he wants to bring out his good friend, the Hog Rider, and now, well, Mushroom has that advantage of the King Tower, which of course is very good against the Hog Rider, because the Hog Rider gets close, hits the Princess Tower, and the King Tower can start firing away as well, and more damage is good. But yes, Mushroom dropping the Royal Giant and Skeleton the way he did, you end up with the Royal Giant coming out in front, which you don't want. You want the Giant Skeleton to go down first, like we're going to see this time, and then the Royal Giant behind, because you want that big Death Bomb, while it's still here, to soak up everything that's left from trying to take out the Giant Skeleton. Though the Bomb Tower may be a good way of dealing with that, and Mushroom's thought about that and has packed the Earthquake responsibly.
But, well, responsibly, but not quite enough foresight to take down that recruit. Nothing supporting that The giant skeleton as a hog once again is going to come out from Suro. He is going to get one hit off, but that is it. The fisherman pulling him away. And honestly, if Mushroom had consciously thought that, thinking, he banned Tornado, I'm going to bring out the fisherman. He's going to go hog again. That's so smart from him, honestly. And we'll have to see if it does pay off. Obviously, the giant skeleton can be taken down by these final Hunter, the Spear Goblins, but then turn are going to get taken down by that bomb as the Hunter, Zappies, and Royal Giant are going to continue to push through. Bomb Tower doing a lot of damage, soaking up a lot of damage, and the Royal Giant, he will get one shot off, but nothing more, as another Royal Giant is dropped on the bridge. Zappies, Fisherman, and Hunter there to try and protect him. Barbarian Barrel as well. He's going to continue firing his cannon, getting 2 shots off Log, and, well, the Hunter combined, they're going to take him down, but the Earthquake, that does a little bit to help. As Mushroom, well, with that trade of damage, is going to come out just about on top.
On top of both damage and elixir there, Mushroom had decided he's going to go all in. 2 Royal Giants back to back. Not a giant skeleton between them, but sometimes that's what you need. If you're pushing that advantage, don't stop. We see an Earthquake at the back. It's a good way of dealing some damage to those Sparkies, those Zappies even. I was hoping you don't get 3 Sparkies, but with the giant skeleton in front, the Log's going to clean them up nicely. And this Fisherman has been doing so much work for Mushroom, breaking up Super Bro's attack pattern, whether it's moving the hog out of the way or moving the knight out of the way from pushes. It's been the play of the game, that's for sure. However, the bomb tower is going to stop that Royal Giant getting any extra damage into that Princess Tower, but the Earthquake spell is going to do a bit, and we've already seen how powerful that could be to rotate. As another Royal Giant hits the deck, Sobro has to play so defensively right now, and he's going to struggle to let it stop every single hit getting through, just because of how the Royal Giant is.
You say that, but the bomb tower, literally placed in his face, is just going to sit there and soak up the damage. And that, combined with the Royal Recruit, combined with the Knight, they're just going to sit there and take away the damage from the Royal Knight. As Sobro, he's now the first pushing Mushroom to the back foot, as he's got the Earthquake, he's got the Hog Rider, he's got 1 damage in, but nothing more. The Fisherman pulls him away from the tower, so close to getting another hit off, and he's now on top in terms of HP damage. As the Royal Recruit from the sky is going to do a lot of damage, flying in with that box, plays up the Zappies, and well, he's going to be cycling it again. The Earthquake, the Log, and the Hog coming in, and he can't quite get off a hit that may just have finished it, but it isn't enough. As now the push comes in from Mushroom, he's got the Giant Skeleton, he's got the Zappies, he's got the Hunter, but they're all taken down by that Royal Recruit. As the Royal Giant, he's going to be facing a lot of damage. But the bomb tower, he's going to soak up a lot, but not enough as he gets 1 hit off. He gets his second, but it's not enough. 128 HP. And so Pro with that final Earthquake, is going to be taking down the tower. That is unbelievable.
That is amazingly played by Sobro. We had him out, and he somehow dealt with that humongous push of giants. That was a ridiculous incoming, and he just about kept everything out of the way. Still wasn't enough for the Earthquake, and Sobro was like, we've got enough elixir. Let's do this. Cycled Earthquake a couple times and took it. That's what you call don't giving up, as Sobro takes this to a deciding game of this set in the second round. This is the grand final of the Newell. This is what we wanted to see from these players. Never give up, Sobro. Hog Rider indeed.
Honestly, what? That game was just so close. That could have gone any way. And I said that obviously in the last game, it was just so close to the different playstyles. This time, it was obviously very different decks, but similar playstyles, just dropping them in. Dropping this Giant Skeleton, dropping the Giant Royal Jump behind him, trying to do that damage, getting taken down by the Bomb Tower, which is so heroic in return, dropping the Earthquake, dropping the Hog, just trying to cycle them, doing as much damage as possible. And honestly, it could have gone either way. It's just bafflingly close, and we'll have to see if this final match does just live up to the hype. Is Sopro going to go all the way? Is he going to take this reverse sweep in fashion and put down Mushroom, the player who came second in the winter season? Is he going to put him down to the low bracket already? Could he have won last season if he wasn't sleeping? Or is Mushroom going to be like, I need to change something up. I don't want to go down to the lower bracket, and finally sort of close this series off and take down Sopro and put him down to the lower bracket?
I think the most interesting thing about those set of games, sorry for cutting you off there, was the Fisherman and how Mushroom's Fisherman did so much work and really reduced Sobro's power because it just didn't let anything nearby. It broke up the attacks that were dealing with the Giant Skeleton Royal Giant combo, and it dealt with that Hog Rider perfectly, opening the King Tower and bringing it to the center so it could be shot by both Princess Towers and the activated King Tower. But it just wasn't enough. One last grab maybe of something. I mean, it was a spell rotation at the end that took it for him, so maybe an earlier pull would have done it. But yeah, Mushroom's going to be, I think, slightly annoyed that he's now in this position after looking so strong earlier on in this set.
Yeah, honestly, to add on about the Fisherman, It's so accurate. The fact that he just played it so perfectly, he brings him to the King Tower, and it wasn't even just a Hog Rider bringing him to middle to get shot by everything. Also, I think quite a few times he was just there was like obviously Super put down a knight to defend against the Royal Giant, and the Fisherman just pulled the knight away from him, brought him into his own side of the arena. The Princess Tower and the obviously Fisherman was sitting there doing damage to the knight, and it basically takes him out of play. And that's very well played from Mushroom. We'll have to see, obviously not well played enough. We'll have to see if he can play just well enough to finally close this series, or is he going to choke and allow Sohoro to come in with the complete reverse sweep? As once again, we do see the Hog. He's going to get one hit off into the tower, but the Hunter is going to clean him up and not allow him to get anything extra. As the, well, he's going to get taken down. Wait, what was that? Instantly takes down the Royal Recruit. Very sudden. Obviously, usually has a shield, but didn't come into play there, apparently.
Yeah, it's slightly interesting how that didn't happen. I think that's partly because of how the Hunter's mechanics work of that spread of attacks, so maybe a handful of them were enough. I'm not completely sure. It looked a bit weird, but didn't matter in the long run. He did just clean up that Hunter without it taking any shots off. As this Hunter is down here having to deal with this graveyard placed from Mushroom, trying to use a Knight to tank that, but it won't be enough. No, Cannon Cart to tank that even, as the Cannon Cart also goes down. A half-health Hunter for Soperbro makes his way across, but I don't think I'll have anything. I stand corrected. He has his trusty Hog Rider to run with it. Probably going to fall down here, but the Earthquake spell will get a bit of Princess Chip Tower damage, but he's not. It's just behind Mushroom here, looking at these left-hand towers. But really, this is, you know, micro amounts of damage, though. Micro amounts of damage do add up, as those Spear Goblins, well, nicely deal with the Knight, who gets cleaned up by the arrows. Classic small plays there. As we've already seen the whole of Mushroom's deck. Only one card missing from Soper Bros. These guys have already shown a lot of their hand. Probably because we've seen these hands before.
Yeah, we have indeed. And I think what we're sort of waiting for, what Soprobro is waiting for, is perhaps the double elixir, which is going to happen in about 6 seconds. Because obviously he dropped the Hunter, he had the Hunter, he had the Hog, and then he couldn't quite get the Earthquake out in time. He can get it out quick enough to take down the Bomb Tower, and obviously that Bomb Tower in turn soaked up all the damage from the Hog Rider. And well, as the Hog Rider goes down once again, he's been doing a lot of damage to the Bomb Tower, but he's in turn going to be taken out as the Graveyard comes down from Mushroom. And well, he's having a bit of a field day, getting a few hits off, but not quite enough, as the Knight and the Log, they're going to clear it up, and not enough damage to take down the tower, but enough to make a difference.
Yeah, well, very nicely played there from Mushroom, not allowing those Spear Goblins, who would have been a very good counter to the Graveyard, to stand around any longer than they need to, as the Hog Rider is allowed to get one more hit off on that right-hand tower. But here comes yet another Graveyard from Mushroom, who is relying, that Snowball every time is dealing with those Spear Goblins, and he's going to get a fair bit of damage as the Skellies build up, and the Hunter also getting a few shots on that right-hand tower. Is that Mushroom? No, not Mushroom. Is that Cannon Cart in range? No, it doesn't matter. The Hog Rider's going to clean it up very nicely, but the Bomb Tower played super aggressively is not going to allow it to do any more. Now that left-hand tower looking pretty weak for Soperbro as we move into overtime.
Yeah, very juicy and very ripe for the picking. As Mushroom, all he's going to do is try and recycle it back and bring out that Graveyard, as that push is looking very good. Hunter taking down the left side and the right side. Well, Sohoro, he's trying his luck. The Earthquake and the Hog are going to do their best, but he only gets one hit off. In the meantime, the Knight is going to get taken down on the left side. The Cannon Cart doing a lot of damage. As another Knight, another Cannon Cart, and another Hunter are going to come out. And now all you need is 5 Elixir for that Graveyard, as they're pushing in. And there we go, 5 Elixir. Graveyard comes down. And they're sitting there, they're distracting, they're taking up all the damage. Not going to come out. We're taking down quite a few skeletons. But the Cannon Cart, combined with the skeletons, going to be doing so much damage to the tower.
That's it.
There you go.
Cannon
It's locked
Cart.
onto the tower. Does the damage. Beautiful.
Indeed, Cannon Cart's ability to lock onto the tower, it is tanky as all hell, and it does a lot of damage once it's there. And with that Graveyard backing it up, distracting everything and having to be played on, there we have Mushroom taking it back after a little blip there in the middle, making sure he wins the best of 5 and the first of our round 2 games. Well done, Mushroom. Well played from Soper in that game, but couldn't really make enough opportunities. His Hog Rider kept coming up against that Bomb Tower far too often, and the Bomb Tower is a very good way of dealing with the Hog Rider, because it often, depending on your placement of the Bomb Tower, doesn't get away from that bomb in time.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And, well, as Mushroom said, Hog Rider one trick go brr. Indeed. And eventually, Mushroom, leaving it down to the wide, liked to leaving it so close. He let it get so close, obviously, but he eventually learned the Bomb Tower is the good defense, gives it the best counter, and he brought out that Graveyard, which obviously Sohoro, he just couldn't quite defend against. And obviously, he will take that victory. as well, we will be going to a break, and we will be going, well, Will versus Mushroom, legendary match as always, and this time it's a best of 5. Obviously, the last few weeks we've seen it, best of 3. It's looking to be a banger, but well, as I said, first we will be going to a break.
Somebody, how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome back to the finals week of spring season at Clash Royale at the Newell, sponsored by Unite Students, Logitech G, and Twitch Student. There we go. As once again, I'm Paulo, and once again, I'm joined by Dr. Watson, my co-caster. Hello there, Dr. Watson.
Hello there, Ant. We thought we should probably go and have a quick look back on those.
Clash of Titans, as per always, pretty much once a week we see this, but this time in a best of 5, and who's going to come out on top? Who's going to go through with a map advantage to the best of 7?
Well, we will find out shortly, but first of all, the bans. Will has banned something I don't think we've seen banned all tournament so far, Baby Dragon. An interesting decision for that Splash unit. And Mushroom banning a relatively common card, and we've seen it banned a few times, which was the Hunter, and we've just seen it in those games do extremely well. So it's interesting that he's decided to ban it after relying on it so well. Basically to see what Mushroom decides to pull out as a result. No clear cards combinations I can think of from those bans. Anything there, Ant?
No, it's odd. The Hunter's just so... I'm speechless. The Hunter's just, obviously, as you said before, it's a very versatile card. We've pretty much seen every single deck, or almost every single deck, use him so far this tournament and this tonight, this week, whatnot. So it's very odd that he just straight up bans it. Maybe perhaps to try counter his balloon. Obviously, if you put it directly below the balloon, boom, boom, dead. So perhaps that's what he's going for. We've seen him try to use a balloon. Doesn't quite work out, so maybe that's what he's going for. Who knows? Baby Dragon ban, very weird. We've seen Will, as we said, like a few weeks ago when he first came out with the Fireball ban. We were like, "What is this? What are you doing?" And it worked out perfectly. So we'll have to see. I hope he knows what he's doing. I assume he does. That's why he's done it. And we'll have to see if it does quite work out in his favor, and his playstyle isn't, or his playstyle works out without that odds Baby Dragon card not appearing, which usually wouldn't.
I'm seeing possibly another graveyard from Will there. Baby Dragon is a decent enough counter to it, though it could work in many other situations as we jump straight in to this match. And we are seeing from Mushroom, Loon and Inferno Dragon. Wow, that's a scary combination, making its way across the battlefield with the Bomb Tower, another card we've seen a lot of. It's going to deal with that Loon nicely, and the Musketeer, the Lava, the Inferno Dragon. So we'll have a quick look at the cards. It looks like Will's playing relatively cheap with Musketeer, Mega Knight, and Knight, as well as that aforementioned Bomb Tower and Mushroom. Something slightly heavier, looking for those Loon kills.
Yeah, and well, that's actually something very odd that I don't think we've seen at all this season. A Bowler and, well, Electro Dragon, slightly less conventional, but the Bowler certainly so. Can soak up the damage and trying to take down Mayo's rival and very annoying skeletons. Electro Dragon, obviously the lightning able to chain through them, very, very useful in taking them out. And now, Mushroom, he's got two of those very strong cards on the field. And Will, he's going to try and take them down with a knife. He's just going to get a few hits off, but it's going to be taken down. Eventually, that Electro Dragon is going to finish him off. Shouldn't really get any more hits on the tower. Snowball, just to make sure and ensure that doesn't happen, as an Inferno Dragon goes at the back of the map for Seal Shroom, or Mushroom. As oh, there we go. I was expecting this to happen with the Lumberjack and Balloon combo. He goes in, he does all the damage, he drops the Rage, and the Balloon does plenty more damage. And will he get to the tower?
Yes.
He does. He gets a hit off.
The classic that is Rage Loon. It always is scary, and it works even better with a Lumberjack, of course, who's able to get through some of those ground troops that would otherwise get in the way. As we see Will go, all right, then Graveyard at the back. But that Electro Dragon is amazing at cleaning everything up. You kind of see why the Baby Dragon was banned against a Loon. I feel that makes some level of sense there. I think I've got those bans the right way around. Maybe I'm getting them wrong. Not enough time to look as pushes are coming in on both sides. Lumberjack's going to deal with that cannon cart nicely. Now this Knight has got to tank a lot, especially for that Inferno Dragon who's going to eat away at it very quickly. And the Graveyard is not going to make enough as Poison will try and make an effort to get a fair bit of damage, but this is looking pretty good for Mushroom as another Loon and Lumberjack combo makes its way across.
Yeah, this attack is looking very formidable. Electro Dragon, Inferno Dragon, and Balloon taking down the ice as well to finish it off for Mushroom, as the bomb doesn't, or the Balloon doesn't quite get to the tower. The bomb from the bomb tower just about takes out a lot of damage done to the tower, down to 800 HP now. But Will, he's still alive, still got a chance as an Inferno Dragon once again dropped right to the back for Mushroom, and all he has to do is keep on continuously just trying to push through. As he, well, Will tries something different. Drops the cannon cart on the right side, Graveyard coming out as well. And the tower, she's shooting a lot at the cannon cart, but the tornado from Mushroom is going to clean house. Barbarian Battle as well, and, well, not much damage at all coming out from Will and that Graveyard.
Yes, but that has used up Mushroom's Rage Potion wielding Lumberjack. I don't think we've seen a lot coming out of that Inferno Dragon that Mushroom keeps placing. It's yet to do spectacular, though it's been there and it's been annoying, as Inferno Dragons often are. This Musketeer doing nice here. Mushroom's going to look for that last Loon to make its way through, and if this Inferno attack can deal with a Musketeer, which it won't, he was kind of hoping to get something behind that. We might still see it, yeah, as the Lumberjack goes down with an expected bomb tower from Will, but no Loon to back it up. There's the Rage dropped as the Loon goes on the other side because the bomb tower's out of the way. Will is going to try and take this opportunity with a Graveyard on the back. Inferno Dragon's going to deal with the Knight quick enough, and the Electro Dragon, the Skeletons. It's a lot of damage, though, going on up there with the Poison spell as well. That's not looking too bad for Will, but this now is his opportunity. Mushroom's opportunity. Really needs to get another Loon to connect.
He really does, and 30 seconds left. Will, if he gets another good Graveyard in, then that may just work out for him, as the bomb from the bomb tower is going to finish up that Balloon. Electro Dragon continuously doing a lot of damage. Not enough as a Poison, a very defensive Poison dropped down from Will. So they bring all his troops in, and this may just be the final push that works for Mushroom, as the Electro Dragon, the Bowler, and the Balloon now coming in, looking to get to the tower. The Snowball's perfect, it pushes him away. The Graveyard in the meantime doing so much damage, and actually gets a few hits off. The Balloon from the bomb from the Balloon isn't going to do enough damage. The Poison onto the tower as well. Will, I think he's just clutched this. Oh my god.
I think Will has.
Oh my god, Will, what are you doing?
Will just clutching it at the end there with those defensive plays, giving it to him. Amazingly done there. Wow, was not expecting that to be played out like that, were we, from where it was going. Mushroom looked like he had a clean sweep going in there with those balloons raining on down, but Will just about getting those attacks in and through consistently. And Graveyard is scary when left ignored. Especially well done with the Graveyard, considering Mushroom had packed Electro Dragon, like one of the best counters to a Graveyard, because it just goes through all those skeletons so quickly. That's an impressive play against cards that really going to struggle against.
It was a very unique deck coming out from Mushroom there. As you say, Electro Dragon Bowler, or Boulder, is not a very common card that we've seen at all. So those sort of picks is very odd, very a bit of a curveball, and it always works out for him. But the fact that Will he had that defense sort of locked down. Eventually, he got used to the cycling, and he had it locked down. He had that Mega Minion just taking down the Balloon, had it distracted by the Bomb Tower, and in the end, the Graveyard, it just works out. The Electro Dragon isn't good enough. The Poison as well, and he just brings it back so close. The fact that it goes right to the end, and obviously goes down to HP damage, that was just enough to bring it back. It's unbelievable, honestly, Will. What?
It
Playing
was
my
an
heart, man.
unbelievable set of games indeed. That snowball at the end, the power of knockback. We have seen Fireball a few weeks ago, if you recall. We saw a Fireball hit a locked on
Yeah.
balloon in a similar situation, but that balloon got to do more damage.
That was
The
well as
knockback
well.
on balloons is a risk reward. If you get it before it hits, it's amazing. If it's already connected, you're giving it an opportunity to do damage. So that was very interesting to see that tactic be played properly there as we are waiting for our second game of this set between the two Titans of the New All. I say that like none of these people are Titans. All 5 of these contestants are Titans. But it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. What do you think of the bans and if that affected much there? Like Mushroom's banning of Hunter. Do you think if he'd have had that Hunter himself, it would have made much difference? I'm not really seeing why he needed it banned.
I wouldn't have thought it would have made a difference for him if he had it himself defensively against Graveyard. It's not fantastic. He's all right, but it's not bad. But I'm pretty sure I said this like right at the start. He's going to go with. I feel like he's going to go with a balloon deck, and obviously, as I said, put the Hunter below it. 2 shots, the balloon's down. So obviously, that's a massive counter. And the fact that, as we said, it's very common. So the fact that if he doesn't need to use a deck with a Hunter in, Will probably has quite a few decks with the Hunter in, and if he cancels that out, that just wipes out a load of, or makes it a lot more awkward for Will's decks, and that obviously opens the way up for the balloon to just go through and, well, do damage. Obviously, unfortunately, he couldn't quite do enough damage, but yeah, I think that the Hunter definitely was a smart ban for Mushroom to work for his playstyle. Baby Dragon was odd from Will. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe we'll see it in the next 2, possibly 4 games. Maybe we'll see, but so far it's I don't know why.
I mean, Baby Dragon is a decent enough counter to a Graveyard, but it's nothing spectacular. And especially if you've maybe forgotten that the Electro Dragon exists, which is a much superior counter with its ability to halt between targets, making it extremely good as we roll into the game with Electro Wizard on the subject, already at the back for Mushroom. No, Will doesn't want any of that, and he's going to try and poison it away with some help, with some extra damage on the tower as well, as we roll into Game 2 of this clash.
We're certainly rolling straight away. The Ram Rider looking to do some ramming straight into this game. It's going to be completely neutralized by the bomb tower, getting a few hits off, but, well, taken down, can't even get to the tower. And well played from Will, and that's, I say, slightly elixir leads, but it's nothing too major. Can't quite get a hit with that Barbarian onto the towers. Once again, Mushroom is bringing out an Inferno Dragon. We haven't seen this too commonly. Obviously, it's not been rare, but it's not been that common. So, slightly, the fact that he's got it in 2 of his decks just makes me wonder quite what he's got up his sleeve. As a Bandit goes down right at the back, looking to do a lot of damage to that Musketeer. We should clean up the Inferno Dragon. And Will, well, the Knight, he's going to be soaking up that Bandit dash damage as Electro Dragon goes down once again. And Cannon Cart on the right side from Will, looking to do as much damage as he can. And in return, Mushroom, dropping the Mega Knight, taking down that Cannon Cart. That's a formidable card on the field.
Yeah, indeed. It looks like Mushroom has decided to bring as many legendaries as possible to this fight at the moment. Looking at his hand deck, only the epic that is the Barbarian Barrel stands in that way. As this Mega Knight is going to connect with that jump, which is going to do a chunky bit of damage to that right-hand tower. Will giving the well-deserved, well-played there for Mushroom. Those jumps are always scary at any point. It's going to be interesting to see what we see here. Mushroom definitely looking like the more aggressive with those card layouts. I thought Will had a pretty good push earlier with that double-pronged with the Cannon Cart and Knight Musketeer, but that's been shut down as Ram Rider runs it on the right-hand side. Knight's not going to be enough. The Snowball, on the other hand, we've seen the power of that quick and simple knockback spell before in the last game, and there it is again as we see Graveyard Knight combo. How's that for a classic? With the Inferno Dragon set in a great position to get rid of that Knight, so the Princess could be focusing on the more important things.
Yeah, it's a perfect combo and a lot of damage done there for Will. But I say he's slightly lacking in the elixir. He's actually got a max and he's ready to shut down this push. Electro Dragon pushing through. Inferno Dragon taken down by the Musketeer, along with the help of the Princess Tower as a poison in return dropped by Mushroom. And the Mega Knight is going to be able to go through as he gets his dash off, and so does the Bandit, the Cannon Cart, and the Musketeer, and the Bomb Tower coming in too as well, looking to shut down this push. As the Mega Knight is taking a lot of damage, the Ram Rider is going to go through, but the Snowball once again perfectly placed. He's going to completely neutralize that Ram Rider. Inferno Dragon left on the field, picked apart by the Princess Tower. Cannon Cart not quite able to reach the tower and get any shots off, but it's done its job. It did the damage to the Mega Knight, and it basically distracted the Inferno Dragon as we do continue and now go into overtime.
Yeah, well, this game is looking very close between the two of them. Yes, Mushroom has a slight disadvantage here, but not by much, as poison's being dropped from both of them onto the pitch. This Mega Knight has a decent amount of health, but I think it's going to get whittled away before it can reach the tower, and it does, with a fresh Musketeer for Will, trying to find some sort of push. There's the Graveyard. I was going to be predicting that as soon as we saw the Knight. The question is, will Mushroom have anything to really help defend? Yeah, the Barbarian Barrel will probably just about do the job with a few more hits, and this combo, no, the dashes are going to get nice cleaned up here by the cannon cart. A very great defensive tool, and now's left a cannon in its place with a nearly dead Inferno Dragon, and yes, one single Barbarian. Not going to mean a huge amount. Mushroom here is now looking to probably win this on HP and just chip away at that tower more and play defensively from the looks of things. I mean, Will's going to be
HP, yeah.
No.
He's currently got the slight lead with 500 HP points in the right side of the towers. And, well, as you see, very defensively, drops the Knight, drops the Mega Minion, and also drops the Bomb Tower. He's going to get taken down or getting damage from the Barbarian Barrel. As the Mega Knight, he comes flying in, does a lot of damage to the cannon cart, but he can't get anywhere, and he's just running into a brick wall. Poison dropped again, is going to take down the Musketeer, but a counter poison from Will is going to do a lot of damage to the Electro Wizard and take down the Inferno Dragon as well. And I think Will may just stay out on top. Probably going to go down to the HP advantage. We've got 30 seconds left in this game. Musketeer, Cannon Cart both dropped to the back. Mega Knight and Ram Rider dropped to the back in return by Mushroom as the poison goes down. And if he can slip through and get a few hits off here, to make this work, but that Bomb Tower is perfect. Takes down or distracts the Bandit, distracts the Ram Rider, but they're continuing. They're not stopping there. The Bandit's going to push through. Another Mega Knight coming in. The Inferno Dragon as well getting taken down by that Princess Tower. The Bomb Tower once again distracting the Ram Rider. And 10 seconds left. I think Will may just about have won this.
I don't think you've seen a more consistent Bomb Tower in your life, as the poison spell combo, as well as that Graveyard, just kept chipping away at that top right-hand tower, giving Will game number 2 and forcing Mushroom to win this last game to stay in winner's bracket. That's very well done by Will, showing why he is last season's champ and why he very well could still be this season's.
Yeah, he certainly can, and that's why we saw quite a few predictions in chat of who would take it, and some people voted for Will, and well, we're seeing why at the moment. But the thing is, it's just again, like every game tonight, it's so close. This time is genuinely going down to HP. Both times it's gone down to HP. Will it continue that way? Probably. Pun unintended, obviously Will and whatnot, but it's. I think it's just depending on who has the upper hand in terms of the deck. Obviously, Will, he just read that perfectly. He had the perfect counter to the Ram Rider. He had the perfect counter to the Mega Knight. And obviously, that Graveyard was just doing so much work. And at the end, we didn't even see it throughout the entirety of overtime, pretty much. He just didn't need to. He did so much damage early on. He could just sit there and wait for spells.
No, in the end of the day, he just played defensively, knowing that in the end, if you've got enough HP advantage, you can take these games. And when they're this close, and when you're both playing... Well, not really, actually. Mushroom was playing quite an aggressive deck that, if it had been able to get through, would have done a lot of damage as we get straight in to the possible final game of this round. Let's see, Mushroom's going to have to do something special or just do better to try and pull through this. As we're seeing that slightly strange deck from the looks of things again from Mushroom. Will sticking with Knight, Cannon Cart, and I imagine a Graveyard.
You would imagine, and we'll have to quite find out. Obviously, this is looking very similar to the deck that Mushroom first used, the Bowler, the Lumberjack, and, well, Inferno Dragon as well. That's just adding to the suspicion. As the poison comes down, and the Mega Minion, obviously doing a lot of damage to the Inferno Dragon, should get taken down by the Princess Tower, unless anything goes in front, but it's not. Electro Dragon once again coming out by Mushroom, and I have a very sneaky suspicion he's going to be putting out a balloon at some point soon. As well, he's sticking with what works, the Cannon Cart, and there we go, the balloon coming into play. Electro Dragon right behind it, but the balloon, he's going to get brought to the side by that Bomb Tower, the Musketeer, doing a lot of damage to that Electro Dragon. The Tornado looking very good. Had the right idea, obviously, to help the Electro Dragon chain together the stuns with the zaps. It was just too late, though, and they took down obviously, as you see, they took down the balloon, and Mushroom couldn't get much done.
Yeah, I think that Tornado is a new addition to that deck. I might be wrong there, but that would be a very good combination, working with the balloon's def damage and allowing more chaining, as Will decides to go and push on the opposite side. That Cannon Cart locking onto the Princess Tower, getting quite a bit of damage on for almost free. Well, not free at all. 5 elixirs is very expensive, but that's given Will a nice advantage on that left-hand tower, where otherwise he would have been struggling. Mushroom's going to feel very much on the back foot after that interaction, as this Bowler is going to get safely dealt with the Bomb Tower, leaving that entire space area open for this balloon push, though, that looks like it might come in very soon, as dragons on both sides.
Yeah, as I say, it could come in either side. Electric Dragon on the right, Inferno Dragon on the left, and Lumberjack and Balloon both on the right as well. Getting distracted by the Knight, but the Balloon's going to continue to push forward. Mega Minion will be trying to do what he can as the bomb tower goes in, but a freeze from Mushroom is going to be perfect. Is it going to do it? Not quite.
No.
Balloon can't quite get to the tower. The snowball is perfect in return from Will. He's learned his lesson. He's making it work as the cannon cart on the right side is getting a lot of damage off onto the tower. And Will, despite being so close to basically getting a tower demolished there, he's still in the lead.
Oh, indeed he is. That's the power of that knockback spell that is the snowball there. Just being able to just move the balloon aside was deeply impressive as we see a cannon cart yet again go on the left-hand side with a Knight supporting it. Will it be able to get a few hits on? We're yet to see Will. Does he have that graveyard in that last card, or is he planning to do something else as we enter overtime? I don't think he pulled it out the whole of last time. With damage, high damage now on both Princess Towers for Will. But Mushroom desperately trying to get that balloon to connect, and the bomb tower is just such a good way of dealing with it.
It really is. That combined with the snowball has just been so efficient. And there we see, again, bomb doesn't even reach to it, Electric Dragon doesn't even get a hit off, and that tower just remains on the same HP. Will, in the meantime, he's just continuously chipping away and just putting pressure on both towers. He can take a pick. There's only 200 HP difference between, or 250 HP difference between them. Tornado is going to be bringing them in. The bowler can actually do a lot of damage here, especially Rage now is going to be trying to do what he can. The Electric Dragon chaining together hits, but well, he's going to get taken down. The bowler and the Electric Dragon just getting mopped up. And there we go. The graveyard, the final card that Will has, combined with the Knight, is going to be trying to do what he can, getting hits off. The poison going down as well. And this may just be GG. They're getting so many hits or so much damage coming down. 500, 400 HP left on that tower. Will's ahead. And, well, unless Mushroom sneaks something through, which it doesn't look like Will will let him, this may just be GG. As a freeze comes out, and the balloon. The snowball misses. No, Will!
It's not enough though. The Musketeer comes out of its freeze just in time to clean up that balloon. Will's going to feel slightly on the back foot, but he knows he just has to poison cycle or even just wait for time to tick away, which it looks like he plans to do. Needs to get that bomb tower out again and does so, but the Rage is not going to be enough. The freeze spell is going to have to come in. He's trying to place everything as far away from possible for the freeze to work. He's done it. One more cycle of balloon, I think, is available to Mushroom as poison graveyard at the back. It's going to take about 2 sword swings, and it does. 3 even, 1 HP for a little bit there, as Will beats Mushroom. The old rivalry continues. Will looking well on set to be the season champion now in a 3-0 fashion.
Yeah, he did slightly stumble at the beginning versus JJ, and, well, he's looking much better now. Obviously, again, very close. That final map was... Anyway, it was nowhere near as close. Looking very confident, looking very strong there. And it's just what's working, and it works perfectly in Will's favour. That snowball, this is what you call character development. When, as we said quite a few weeks ago, the fireball, that screwed him. That basically made him lose that game. Here, with a snowball, does it perfectly. He's barely made an error. I think that one time that I just got very slightly worried that he missed the balloon. I don't know if that was intentional or not, if he knew it was going to die, but the snowball
he got away with it. He got away with
it.
it. Sometimes that's all that matters. You can make mistakes as long as you get away with them. Anyway, game 4. Don't take that life advice for anything outside of Clash Royale. Anyway, game 4. Chocoholic versus Super Pro. I don't think we get to see Chocoholic actually in the arena tonight. Maybe I'm getting confused there. Chocoholic has done the smartest thing ever against Super Pro and ban Hog, because we know he's decided to pull it back out again, so he has done. And Super Pro has banned a card we've seen a lot of tonight, but not a huge amount of for the rest of the tournament, and that is the mid to high tier ladder Bane, that is the Mega Knight. What do you think about these bans, Ant?
I think it's smart of Chocoholic, certainly. Yeah. We saw that Super Pro took 2 matches off of Mushroom using that Hog Rider sort of cycle deck, and he doesn't want to deal with that. And I respect that. Smart choice. Just get it out of the way. Don't need to bother with that deck. He has to come up with something different. Mega Knight? I mean, it's less bizarre than something like Baby Dragon, which I guess worked out in Will's favour. He 3-0'd. But it's a very simple ban. You know what it does. You ban Mega Knight, you just say, I don't want to deal with that. It's an annoying card. And nothing, I don't think it's countering a specific style. It's just a general card. As we do get into the game, the first game, Chocoholic versus Super Pro in, well, the losers bracket, I believe this is, to see who will continue in this tournament and who will to take prizes.
Indeed, all these very important prizes, including our both of our finalists, with the ability to go even further in Clash Royale and to a European level. But let's have a focus on this fight in front of us here as we see cannon cards at the back with a Dark Prince coming in from Chocoholic from the University of Exeter against SoberBro. We're going to have us look and see how this fight turns out. Cannon cart still looking very fresh as it makes its way across the river.
Yeah, it's looking to try to do damage. And we haven't seen quite a lot of the Ice Wizard. So we haven't seen quite a lot of it. I think we saw it in the first match. We haven't seen too much. Dark Knight as well. I think we saw it in quite a few sort of other weeks. But recently, not too much. Obviously, a very good card. Very versatile, obviously, with the charge damage, with the extra shield as well. So we'll have to see quite what SoberBro can sort of bring out to counter it. And it looks like he may have pinched Will's deck. Obviously, there's archers, which Will didn't have, but he's got the cannon cart, he's got the knight, he's got the mega minion, he's got the snowball. Wouldn't surprise me if he had a little cheeky graveyard up his sleeve.
Well, that's very possible with that combination of cards. Yet to really see what Chocoholic's packing here, but the Dark Prince, of course, makes a good defensive kind of mixed attacker. As the Tornado, a great combination with the Dark Prince. That graveyard's going to come in, but it's going to come in as the Knight gets killed, which of course is the main thing it's tanking for. The Barbarian and the Ice Wizard should stop most of the damage coming through. However, that's going to let a few hits come in. It's pretty much even Steven still. Either way, these archers doing a good job of cleaning out. The Fireball says otherwise. As we enter Double Elixir, basically not a lot's happened.
Yeah, not really much at all. Not much damage on either of the towers. And, well, that's something certainly spicy coming out. As an Electro Giant put right at the back on the right side by Chocoholic. And in return to SoberBro, he's going to be dropping that cannon cart. And he's going to get taken down in turn by that Dark Knight. He's going to be a bit of a bane, perhaps, if he can get to the tower, get that bonus damage off. We'll have to see. No, taken down by that bomb tower as the Electro Giant supported by that baby dragon. We'll have to see if SoberBro can actually do anything to counter it. He's going to get brought straight to the middle by the bomb tower. His HP is gradually getting lower and lower. The Mega Minion tanking that baby dragon. And actually taking him out as the Electro Giant can't even get to the tower. Can't get a single hit off. But the next one immediately put down. Let's try it again. SoberBro, he's going to be cycling back in that graveyard, put at the back left, and looking to try and do what damage he can. And Ice Wizard not able to do much at all, almost taken down. Actually, is eventually. So Barbarian Bell cleans up the rest of the skeletons, and a slight lead for SoberBro.
That bomb tower I was not expecting that bomb tower to pull over that Electro Giant, but it does from there. That Electro Giant has got good vision with those goggles and will be taken out, sadly, as a result. But now another one placed right on the bridge. Let's see how things move forward. Can we get this sorted? Yes, the archers will just about clean up against this Electro Giant, and a Dark Prince will probably be taken out by that Mega Minion right there. It's still very even, both with a bit of damage on opposite towers. The graveyard from SoberBro making progress mixed with the Fireball, and the Mega Minion's going to deal, and that is a lot of damage with those skeletons going raining in on that top right after all. Nicely played Fireball, and that Baby Dragon showing why it got banned last time as quite a good graveyard counter, but not quite enough.
Yeah, not quite enough indeed. A lot of damage done to that tower, very low HP. And the counter push from Chocoholic, trying to do what he can with the Electro Giant. He just can't get it done. He gets to the tower, or the bomb tower, not even the Princess Tower, and he just gets taken down. Dark Knight as well, he's being finished off, and now looking for a very offensive push, and that looks like a bit of a panic play there from Chocoholic. Goblin Cage right in the middle, just stuck there. Another graveyard coming out, but this time the Ice Wizard and the Dark Prince are there to try and deal with it, and they're not actually getting any hits off at all. At this point, SoberBro, he can just play the waiting game. He can just sit here, he can demolish these pushes, and he can just sit here and laugh with that HP. Fireball coming out, taking down the dual Ice Wizard, doing damage to the Electro Wizard, who's going to take down the bomb tower, but the push is dead. It's dead.
Oh, not completely. This Electro Wizard is going to get a fair bit of damage, and once he connects, it starts doing big hits. As you can see, not completely over, but definitely not enough to deal with the danger that's coming as the graveyard once again is spawned in at the back, and those army of skeletons appear. Tornado does a good job of dealing with a lot of them. It's going to stop this from being over before overtime. Maybe just... No, it's not! The Tornado not being enough for Chocoholic to at least bring it down to sudden death or countdown of HP, and SoberBro takes it without needing to whittle away anyone's health. Well played, SoberBro, indeed. That's the power of a well-played graveyard, continuously going for the back, and those Electro Giants not being able to reach. Bomb Tower on form tonight.
It really is, and I wonder if the nerf's going to make that much of a difference. Obviously, it's, the only thing that's been nerfed with that is the damage from that bomb when it's dropped. It's been the HP and the damage that it's been throwing out continuously. That's been the sort of key factor here. The bomb obviously has been helping in taking down the balloons and whatnot, but we'll have to see if it in the future if it does sort of have that much of an effect. But yeah, graveyards, as you said, it's been a crucial card tonight and this entire season. I would say tonight has probably been the best defensive card. Honestly, that paired with Freeze is fantastic, and that pet just by itself, as we've seen, has been brilliant. Electro Giant, we saw it sort of earlier on in the season, sort of getting through and doing damage, but since then we just haven't really seen it sort of come to fruition. Hasn't done the damage really, and we'll have to see if Chocoholic can sort of change it up if he does go for a graveyard deck himself, or if he just tries to continuously go with this Electro Giant, or if he goes for a double Giant push. That's what we've sort of seen through as we do get into the second match. Princess going down from Soboro, and Zappy's coming down in return from Chocoholic. So Princess slightly odd card that we haven't seen too much of. Zappy's very basic.
Yeah, well, you say very basic. They're a very interesting card. They do a lot of cool stuff, having those portable zaps. But yeah, at this point in the tournament, considered very basic and common play. Princess is a good part of a balanced splash or log bait bases, and it looks like that's going to be the case as we see the infamous Goblin Barrel fly over the king of the log baits and getting a nice chunky bit of damage on that right hand tag, giving Sobro a bit of a lead. This is something we like to see from Sobro. He likes to play fast-paced games on the whole, as the wall breakers, well, one wall breaker will make its way across and get zappied out. Nicely played there. I don't know if Sobro is expecting that the goblin from the cage to turn around as quickly as he did, but he did and took out one of those wall breakers. As the cannon cart, a card we've seen a lot of tonight as well. Also, you can see why it was on the list of to be nerfed. Makes its way across, though gets promptly stopped by that goblin cage, while the Electro Spirit not enough to deal with that goblin barrel before it gets another set of hits off.
Yeah, as you said, it's a very sort of light deck coming out from Soboro, and even just then dropping the Princess, she basically is guaranteed to do damage onto the tower. Gets 2 hits off, not even just 1, 2, and that little bit of chip damage, if Chocoholic can't sort of stop that, Soboro is going to be taking this match. Wall breakers, they are neutralized by that Zappies. The log just not really doing anything at all, just rolls straight past the Zappies and doing damage to the tower instead. Cannon Cart should be taking it down in return, but already Soboro, he's got a good lead, a very good sizable lead, and with his sort of very low elixir, light, quick to play deck, we'll have to see quite what Chocoholic can bring out in return as he does drop down the Royal Recruits. 6 on the map and 6 ready to play as they're going to get chipped down by that Princess. And the Flying Machine, he could do a lot of damage if he's not covered, but the Hunter comes down in return from Soboro. He's going to finish him off. And damage done, but nowhere near enough as Chocoholic has had done to his tower. As the Barbarian Barrel is going to clean up the Goblins, but there's so much damage done already. 400 HP on that left on that tower. Wall breakers, both of them connecting onto the left side. And this is also Soboro's game at this point.
Yeah, I think we had a whiff fireball there from Chocoholic on his attack on the Princess Tower a little while ago as this Goblin Barrel keeps raiding in. It's interesting to see. I was about to say that these cheaper decks often do much better in before a double elixir, but Sobro, a master of this trade, able to make it work despite the extra elixir flowing everywhere. But here we go. We have Raw Recruits and we have Hogs. Sobro needs to deal with this big push. The log will do a good amount of jobs doing that, but this is looking like a fair bit of damage. Cannon Cast not going to be enough to easily clean it up. Hunter, on the other hand, will stop this looking too bad. Sobro needs to finish the job and finish it quickly. And he might just do it.
Ooh, there you go. As I said, very Barbarian Barrel coming out to counter and completely wreck those Goblins in a barrel. Log is going to do a lot of damage, and along with the Princess, going to be looking to try and mop up these Hogs. Hunter coming down as sort of a last-ditch effort to try and take it down, because that tower is getting very low HP. Fireball coming in is going to take down the Hunter as well. 58 HP left on that tower. 1 log should finish it, but he's putting in the wall breakers, and there we go. The log comes in. Well, straight to a victory. Soboro taking that second match. And, well, it was very worryingly at one point when those Hogs were going through a lot closer than the first. But, well, he does clinch that victory.
Indeed, he does. Well played to Sobro, playing that quick game, just making it through with Barrel and with Wall Breaker. He allows you to play both lanes, that's the advantage of that speed. Chocoholic was going for split lanes with Raw Recruits, but then ended up putting the Hogs in only one lane, so not really sure if that's what he meant to do. As we're going straight into Game 3, this is looking very strong for Sobro to make his way into Losers Final. And we will see how he goes against that would have been against Mushroom. Am I right?
Yes.
He's up against this? Yes, he will. Let's see how he rolls in this fight.
And, well, it's something we haven't seen quite a lot of, actually, at all. A very, I think it's personally a very decent card, is the Ice Minions. So it's sort of like the Knight, VTech, obviously more distracting and able to sort of pull them away. Obviously can't do damage himself. And, well, it does its job. It neutralizes that Bandit, and in return, well, a push coming out, but completely taken down by that Barbarian Barrel. Battle Ram coming out in return from Chocoholic on the right side. But the Bomb Tower, it does its job very well. 4 for 4 trades. and those barbarians are taken down nice and tidy. Not
Yeah,
too
that
bad at
bomb.
all.
Not bad at all. That bomb tower a really nice counter to a battle ram because it deals with it does a bit of damage to the ram. Doesn't normally break it unless it has something else working alongside it, but of course deals with those barbarians because of the power of splash damage. As we see the World Ghost come down, nicely played by those little 1 elixir skeletons, and that's also going to absorb one of the dashes from the bandit. Skeletons getting a lot of actual value there. As an Ice Golem played again, we're seeing a very cheap deck from Subbro as the Loon goes down, and I don't see a building from Chocoholic.
Until now.
Oh yes, until now with the cannon cart. You always forget about that bit.
If that musketeer didn't take down that cannon cart, that balloon would have gone straight through and taken down the tower, but instead the musketeer does his stupid job, takes down the cannon cart, and, well, the balloon, it gets distracted and gets taken down by that electro wizard in turn. Well, Ghost we haven't seen a lot of, actually, and, well, we'll have to see if he can be used well by Chocoholic, as once again, the ice minion putting down and taking down the bandit, essentially, with the musketeer and the princess tower just shooting away at it. He sucks up the damage. They do the damage to the opponents. Magic Archer once again dropped in the middle, and the musketeer trying to do what she can, but does get taken down with a combo of the Barbarian Barrel and the Magic Archer. And, well, looking at a pretty good split push here from Chocoholic. And we'll have to see if Subaru can answer back. That bandit coming in and almost gets the dash off with a miner. He takes the chunk of that bonus damage, and the musketeer can live to see another day.
Not much of another day as he gets swiftly taken out of the bridge by that Magic Archer, who's been doing a lot of work. We see yet another bomb tower going down, playing very defensively. That will still... No, it will not, because it goes down, and this Ram Rider has a good... Battle Ram has a good opportunity to make a push, but fails to, thanks to that well-placed snowball. The power of this knockback, we've been seeing it all night from the snowball. Yes, we had yet another case of the cannon cart breaking of the cannon cart playing up with the balloon mechanics. It's interesting to see that happen twice in one night after not really noticing it beforehand, as a relatively impressive push is going to be nicely shut down by Sobro on that left-hand tower. This is looking like an extremely even game considering we've entered overtime and very little damage has been done. Tiny bit to Chocoholic's right.
Yeah, that's all I can think of is just such an even game. As you say, it's a tiny bit done on the right side. That may have just been 3 snowballs down on that thing. And Chocoholic in return, he's actually not got a single hit off onto either of Subaru's towers, but he may do now. A bandit coming in and a very panicked last-minute play from the bomb tower going down is going to absorb that bandit dash, absorb the roll Ghost swings of his sword as well. And the match will just continue, and there's no end in sight at this point. I think Subaru, he may just win from snowball damage, which is something I think I never say. So we're going down to neutralize that Battle Ram, and a push coming in from Chocoholic and see what he can do. Magic Archer is going to be taking down that miner. But the cannon cart in return, it's going to try what he can, but Ice Minion again sucking up the damage. It must be behind it, and it's just again and again the same things non-stop.
Indeed. Sobro definitely going for the defensive playstyle here. Even though he's only marginally ahead in damage, it will technically be enough at this point. As we're going to see, yep, the bomb tower going to deal with that battle ram. But very defensive deck from Sobro. Has a lot of answers to everything Chocoholic is trying to throw at him. Chocoholic still has a card to play. But as you see what it is, oh, there it is. It's a fireball. It's a chunky amount of damage. And might actually be worth attempting to rotate at this point. Because 1 or 2 more might be enough to take, given how stalemated this game is. The balloon is going down again, though. The balloon can make things happen, and it might... No, the bomb damage will connect, though, doing a bit more. Still, okay, it's a slightly better lead for Super Pro at this point, but the damage is minuscule as the fireball goes in again. Super Pro, is that Super Pro just ahead still? Can one more fireball or something go out on that? To bottom left-hand tower, it doesn't look like it. The snowball's going up in the right. The fireball doesn't land, and that was a slow game.
That was like the closest, least close game I've ever seen. Or what? They were both.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
nothing happened.
The towers was 2,000. Both of them were 2,000 HP, and it goes down to HP difference as the deciding factor. What? What even is that? That's so stalemated. That genuinely, that's just a stalemate. Nothing happens. And they have to cycle out a balloon's bomb dropped and snowballs and fireballs to try to do damage, but they do it too late. And what? What even is that? Oh my god.
We've seen a wide range of games tonight, and I was not expecting something that low, but Sobro has done it, knocked out Chocoholic, our #1 seed, going into this, and will be playing Mushroom shortly. We'll have another break, but first, I imagine we'll be getting our we won't be getting our highlights, will we? Because we've had some issues with them. So we will be having another break before those two, which will be Losers Final and the Grand Final. Once again, a shout out to our sponsors, Logitech G, Twitch Student, and Unite Student. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to what will be the final segment of tonight in final week of finals week. And, well, we're getting into the grand final of this season, the spring season, Clash Royale at Newell. And it's looking to be a certain climactic end to the night as we get to the lower brackets final. So Probo versus Mushroom. I'm Ant Pulvio, and I'm once again joined by my co-caster, Dr. Watson. Hello there.
Hello, Ant. Welcome back. How many times did you just say final? It felt like far too many, but we are definitely at that point. The final of the finally finals. But not quite the final, as we are in the losers final with our two competitors, Mushroom and Superbro, both who have been forced to make their way here. Well, Superbro by Mushroom earlier, which went to a 3-2 game in round 2. Be interested to see. Mushroom, of course, hoping for a repeat performance, but I imagine he's hoping to not have to cut it to the wire as much. Let's have a quick look at those bans. Mushroom has banned Fireball, a common counter we've seen quite a fair bit tonight, being able to deal with a wide range of units. And Superbro banning Graveyard, which, if you were here just beforehand, we have seen be a phenomenal card in that last game between Superbro and Chocoholic. Interesting to see Superbro ban it away, especially after he's been using it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think he's sort of seen Mushroom do the damage with it, and he's just thinking, you know what? Just get rid of that. I don't want to deal with it. Fair enough. And the fact that he's banned Fireball himself, I'm thinking he's going to be going for some more of the split pushes, the Royal Hogs, the Royal Recruits, those sort of things. Get rid of Graveyard. Just focus on that. That's my guess. We'll have to see if that's quite true as we straight away do get into the first game. Kanagart drop down, is going to be taking down that miner. He gets a few hits off onto the tower, but nothing substantial as he continues to roll. And a Valkyrie, something I don't think we've actually seen this tournament at all so far. Soaking up a lot of damage, a very versatile card, only for Elixir. Does get the swing for a 360 hit onto a lot of troops and obviously sort of group with that swing. But also a lot of HP to soak up the damage, obviously, as we saw from that Kanagart. So a very... sort of an understandable pick. And, well, the balloon comes out straight away from Mushroom. Absolutely nothing left, nothing restraining him. He's going to be dropping that and going straight to the Goblin Cage. Going to be taking that down, but not get to the Princess Tower. In turn, he's taken down by the Princess Tower and the Baby Dragon. So lightning straight down. Can't even catch a break. He's going to be taking down the Musketeer and the Royal Recruit, the single Royal Recruit. Bit of damage onto the tower, but nothing too significant.
No, but a bit of damage also for Mushroom because of the death bomb of the balloon, which is always quite nice when he doesn't pull away. You don't pull away with the building as much as you possibly could. We've seen some very aggressive placements so far. That one's slightly more defensively there from Superbro. No real sign of big push from Superbro yet, though he is well known for pulling some small stuff. The cannon car is on its own now, considered to be pretty powerful. But he is, of course, graveyardless from his own design, which would make sense in this situation, but he's not got it. Mushroom, of course, relying on that loon, as there's a bit of cycling taking place, trying to get a perfect loadout. Superbro throwing down an Ice Wizard, and Mushroom with a Musketeer. I can imagine another balloon on that right-hand side bridge very soon, with a Baby Dragon in prep. No! Mushroom decides to go against both me and what Superbro was probably expecting, and place it on the left-hand side. Still able to react with that mere 4 elixir card that is the Goblin Cage. But the tornado will allow for King Tower activation with the balloon. Not the most useful against balloon decks, but it's still always good to have it out, as it will help deal with that pesky miner as well. And if the balloon happens to reduce the damage, as this balloon on the right-hand side makes a decent push, however, will just about be stopped thanks to that cage and the King Tower activation. Once again, with that tornado from Superbro, looking like his card of choice for defense and chaos.
Certainly, and that was so well played from Superbro. That tornado just both times doing exactly what it needed to do. He is currently lacking in the damage into the towers department, but well, he's looking to try and kick back into it as Mushroom. He's unrelenting. He's dropping that balloon once again. Valkyrie taking down that cannon cart, and well, he's going to take down the cannon cart, try to get into the Goblin Cage, but he's slowed down by the Ice Dragon, or the Ice Wizard, sorry, and the Baby Dragon. Princess Tower as well, and the miner, he's just getting hits off, and there we go, the final card from Superbro. He does unveil it, and it's the Electro Giant. We saw him earlier on, not quite successful with it. We'll have to see if he does get some more grounds of actual damage here. Cannon Cart behind it to try and support it up. Should be able to mop up the Musketeer, but there's still one card that we haven't seen from Mushroom, and I'm curious to see what it is. Is it going to be the perfect counter to this? And there we go. The Goblin Cage. It's going to distract the Goblin Giant. Lightning coming out, takes down the Valkyrie, takes down the Cage, takes down the Goblin, and the push will continue through the Ice Wizard and the Cannon Cart. Looking to do what they can, but they're taken down by the Royal Recruits. Cannon Cart getting off quite a lot of shots and actually turns it around back on its head. And so he's actually coming out on top in terms of HP now.
That cannon cart locking onto the Princess Tower was crucial there for Sobro. The Electro Giant falling, sadly, slightly too soon before it could start doing any major damage. Mushroom now need to find a balloon connection. Gonna need a lot of distractions to stop this Ice Wizard who has sadly connected to the loon. That minus not gonna be enough as the loon goes down thanks to all of those princesses going ham on it. The Electro Giant will make its way across. Nice play lightning to make sure it doesn't go too far. This Valkyrie is gonna clean up a little bit. The skeleton's gonna get taken out nicely. And the Electro Giant is connected to the tower. With the tornado, bring it all together. Oh, that is beautifully played by Sobro, using the combination of the tornado and the Electro Giant's Electro Field event to take game 1 and to go, no, you may have beat me in round 2, but you will not beat me here.
That was spicy. Perfectly played from Sobro. That tornado used 3 times? Every single time. Perfect usage. I said earlier on the Electro Giant, he just wasn't really gaining ground. He wasn't doing the damage that he was required to. 8 elixir, very expensive card. It's got to be worth it, sort of thing. And it now is. We saw there, perfect. Along with the Lightning was sort of, I guess, sort of an underrated support card. It took down the Goblin Cage, took down the Goblin, and took down either a Musketeer or a Valkyrie and whatnot. And that's very good sort of value for its elixir. And also, it just does exactly what it needs to do. It supports the Electro Giant and allows it to get to the tower, take down the damage. And the Cannon Cart as well. You gotta sort of call out for the Cannon Cart. Gotta get a shout out for that. Did do a lot of damage to the tower, and we've seen why. Because we see why it's been picked so much is because of that sort of reason. As we do get into the second match, Mushroom looking to sort of kick in or fly into it and try pick up a victory. Sobro looking to continue one of his own as a skeleton barrel finally, ends the stalemate. Dropped on the right side, and this is a question of Nick Will's deck.
Well, it's very possible that we are seeing that clone deck back as Sobro decides, instead of sitting on that Electro Giant this time, he knows, well, he's going to assume Mushroom knows he's not changed cards, so throws it down. Yes, this does look like a very clonable deck with the Giant Skeleton and that very scary Death Bomb making its way across. Though the Electro Giant has one advantage of just walking, but it will stop for that Cannon Cart, which does keep the Giant Skeleton in range. The Cannon Cart once again breaking at weird times, causing chaos. Electro Giant, though, not going to be making much further progress than that. There are a few zaps on the flying machine, and one on the tower will now give Sobro the tiniest of leads in this game. But yes, interesting to see yet again the Cannon Carts play an effect against these units that only attack buildings.
Yeah, certainly has. As once again, Mushroom is going to be dropping that skeleton barrel, not goblin barrel. Hunter taken down, and skeletons dropped from the sky, but taken down by the Ice Wizard, the Cannon Cart, and the Princess Tower. It's Cannon Cart versus Cannon Cart. The fight does kick off, and the Cannon Cart comes out on top. This time, it's on terms of on the side of Mushroom. Ice Wizard is going to get picked apart by it, and this time, now, Sobro, he's going to be switching it up. Electro Giant on the left side. He's not really committed too much damage onto the right side, so why not, change it up, throw it up in the air. I'm going to go to the left side. Giant Skeleton in return from Mushroom. He's going to be looking to try counter it, and obviously that defensive bomb, looking to do what he can. Nothing else so far, as the Flying Machine is finally placed. Barbarian Battle coming through as well, trying to do extra hits onto that Goblin Giant. Barbarians trying to counter the Electro Giant, and Lightning, it doesn't quite do its job.
No, because the Barbarians were able to suck up a few of those hits. I think the Lightning was played just as those Barbarians hit the ground, so possibly not expecting them. The Baby Dragon's going to do a fair bit of work mopping this up as the Clone spell goes in on the skeleton barrel, which does produce a lot of skeletons, but nicely dealt with by the Barbarian barrel there, who's going to force, he's going to force pretty much a stalemate there, as he's going to fall to the next thing that touches him, which is the Princess Tower. We're pretty much back at 0 now, so looking like he has a slight lead on that top left-hand tower, as he decides to push on the right with yet another Electro Giant, and the Giant Skeleton, who is going to get distracted and go for the Cannon Cart, but the Barbarians, so they've got enough HP to withstand the zaps and break through that Electro Giant. And now this is looking like a relatively juicy push from Mushroom, though something that could be shut down quite nicely thanks to the splash count. Even with that clone spell, the splash count should keep things nice and safe for Sobro. Still very back and forward at the moment as we enter overtime. Be interesting to see what Mushroom could do. Really needs another big break.
Yeah, it's very, very close, and Mushroom almost breaking through, but just not quite. I think the Electro Dragon, I've got to say, is a very good counter to the Flying Machine. Obviously, he soaks up the damage, but the zaps, because the Flying Machine has such low HP, the zaps basically take it out by itself. Obviously, with the Princess Tower, it can help out. And, the Electro Dragon continuing to push through, trying to. The Tornado bringing them all in together, the final card for Sobro, but it doesn't quite do enough, as the the Electro Giant does go down, taken down by the Barbarians and the Cannon Cart, as the Electro Giant on the left side is going to be placed. Giant Skeleton getting put down in return, and I think the Barbarians are just going to come back out and try and do what they can against it. In fact, the Hunter and the Electro Giant, he's going to be getting to the tower. The Lightning going out does damage, takes down the Hunter, and the Electro Giant, he's just doing so much work. The zaps, the punching almost takes down that tower. So close, but not quite enough.
Mushroom caught out there by his Barbarians. What else? Such a great counter to the Electro Giant. And that's really cost him as a result. He's going all in on the right-hand side with that clone, but Tornado is a great way of cleaning them up as well. Getting everything out of the way. The Flying Machine is going to get mopped up by the power of the freeze of the Ice Wizard with the Princess Tower. SoBro now could try to finish this off, could play defensively as the Barbarians are placed to stop him taking the win. Lightning says otherwise, and SoBro takes the second game of Losers Final, putting him in a very handsome position to be one of our top 2 going off to the Esports Masters.
Yeah, that's certainly looking very likely at this point. And, well, we did see, I'm pretty sure it was these guys who played earlier. As we said, Mushroom did win 3-2. Mushroom got the first 2 right, and then SoBro almost brought it back, then Mushroom won the final one. I think that's correct. Don't quote me on that.
I think you're right there.
Sounds
about right.
We'll have to see if... if Mushroom can bring it back and bring it back to 2-2 or bring it back to 3-2, who knows? And it's certainly possible to happen. There's no reason why you can't just chill out, reset, play again, play your own game. You've beaten him before. SoBro, he's looking very comfortable. He needs one more. That's all he needs to get to second place, guaranteed, and face off against Will in the best of 7 final. As we do kick off this possibly final match. Snowball coming down from Mushroom and Barbarian Battle, getting 1 hit off, actually 2 onto the tower as the miner goes out, and nothing to support it. Cannon Cart is going to be sucking up the damage. He's going to take down the miner and will stroll right into SoBro's side, but actually halted by that Mega Minion.
Yes, the Mega Minion doing a great job of not letting that Cannon Cart reach the tower position, as which you know does a lot of damage. Snowball going in, mostly just trying to do a bit of damage, save that Mega Minion, getting a couple of swipes off. A lot of damage there from letting a Mega Minion through. However, Mushroom now has 6 Royal recruits on the field. SoBro's going to try and answer with two archers is not going to be enough. He's going to need to play something slightly more. Barbarian Barrel will deal with one side. Barbarian coming in late enough, though, that he doesn't really capture them, but Knight on the other. We are seeing an extremely split push deck from Mushroom as the Zappies go down at the back, splitting them as well. We're going to see Hogs from Mushroom. It's almost guaranteed. While SoBro, those last 2 cards have got to be holding something. Will we see yet another Electro Giant from him? It's very possible this deck, or possibly his infamous Hog Rider.
We'll have to see. Obviously, the Fisherman may come into, or will come into play if he decides to go through that path. As Mushroom, we've seen him quite consistently throughout the entire night trying to use these balloon cards, and well, it may just work out for SoBro. He's learned from the best. He's learned from Will to use that snowball to his advantage, and well, that's going to work out perfectly. The balloon can't get to the tower. The bomb does do a bit of damage to it, but nothing, not enough. As SoBro is currently leading in terms of HP, and Elixir basically even at this point, so it's still anyone's game. He just needs to get 1 or 2 good hits with that balloon to take down that tower.
Yeah, well, that snowball there is vitally important to that play. The balloon had not even taken a hit as it was reaching the bomb tower, but the snowball forced it back, forced it to take the bomb damage, and did not let it connect to the Princess Tower. As we see the Uber push come in from Mushroom from the back, we see Royal recruits and Zappies behind on that left-hand side with a balloon backing it up. SoBro's going to have to play hard on the defense. The Barbarian Bell's going to have distracted a bit. We see this Fisherman come in and clean up the Knight for the right-hand side. That's probably not where he wanted it to go. The balloon goes down. The Skeletons are going to keep the... Snowball, there's so much going on. Snowball's going to keep it towards the bomb, and SoBro's done an amazing job of cleaning up what was an extremely scary push.
Yeah, that was very, very scary, as you said. And I'm getting very worried. He's got 8.5 Elixir leaked. He's sitting there, he's waiting, he's biding his time, and, well, it's almost working out, and it currently is the bomb. That's going to do a lot of damage to Zappies and the Hunter. Not quite take them down, but the Archers, they may be able to clean up and mop houses. The Barbarian Rattle, that chimes in as well. Hunter can't even get a shot off, and all SoBro needs to do now is just play defensively and not let a balloon slip through. And, well, he's still got 2 minutes to do that, and or 2 minutes to hold on to it, as the Mega Minion is going to go down, try to do damage. Bomb Tower should be pulling the balloon away, but this push with the Royal Recruits, there's so much to deal with. The Archers as well, looking to try and take them down. The arrows coming in, but the Snowball once again is perfect, pushes it away. The Bomb Tower's bomb finishes off, combined with the Mega Minion. And it's damage, it's getting very close, and SoBro, he needs to be careful not to lose this lead in damage. It's very, very close.
Well, the death bomb damage from that balloon will be lowered soon. We don't know. Glad that update did not come now because it has made this fight much more interesting. As a result, as Royal Recruits make their way across the bridge with the balloon behind yet again. This Bomber Tower definitely doing the work to drag it across with the Mega Minion back and forward. Though death damage from the bomb not allowed this time. Mega Minion connecting. This is looking kind of good for Sobro, but he really needs to get a bit more damage on that top left to secure it.
The thing is, Mushroom has arrows and a snowball, and if he puts both of them down on the right side, I don't think Sobro can do anything to contend with it. Obviously, only one snowball. And, well, that balloon, a bit too late. The snowball isn't going to be able to deter that hunter. And the balloon, it's going to go down as Mushroom, he puts down a balloon of his own. Bomb Tower perfectly dragging it away, though. And Mega Minion, he's going to have to try and do what he can, try and take that down. But there's so much going on. There's still 3 real recruits alive, the Fisherman as well. And the balloon, it will go down to that bomb. But Mushroom, he's coming out on top with the HP. He's whistling it away and he's continuing to do so. These balloons are so consistent. So he doesn't have an answer for it. He's going to be dropping a balloon of his own. He's going to let the balloon just try to travel a bit further. But the Bomb Tower on the right side, it's going to deter it. But that balloon's going to continue, and the snowball is bad. It pushes it towards the tower.
Knocked him towards the tower.
For the arrows and the bomb, that's going to do enough damage in 5 seconds left. So he doesn't have an answer. And Mushroom, he's got the HP advantage.
That was depressing there from Sobro. Looked like it would have those leads, but as you pointed out, the spells were in Mushroom's hand to play. We saw the arrows fly over first, which chimped in that lead, and that balloon at the end sealed the deal with a poorly placed snowball there from Sobro, knocking it further towards as opposed to further away. I think that made enough of a difference. I think the loss was the same either way, but Mushroom has decided he is not out of this yet. Still wants that place to fight against Will in the final.
He really does. He wants to get his revenge real bad. And even Sobro, even he knows that he has said rip messed up Snowball. And, well, exactly. That may cost him. If that comes back, or if Mushroom comes back and wins these next 2, he goes through to the final. Sobro's going to be kicking himself that he just screwed up one tiny Snowball. And that it could have gone in 3-0 fashion. It may come back 3-2.
Well, you were talking earlier about human failure, especially on Sobro and his very, very fast-paced and very precise style, and you said it might happen eventually. Well, if that's all it was, I think he was going to lose that game anyway, Snowball regardless. So if that's the only failure he makes tonight, I'd take that. It probably won't be. He's probably already made some more that we've missed, even with our advantage of not having to panic while playing and watching. Curious to see if Mushroom could hold this back. What do we see for Mushroom there? I guess split pushes, Royal Recruits made you have to deal with both sides, while the balloon was able to get through, and it was the consistent death damage from the balloon there that was really Mushroom's favour. As we roll away to Game 4 of Losers Final.
Yeah, I honestly think Sobro, he seemed just kind of panicked there with, as you said, the split pushes. The Royal Recruit just kind of going everywhere. The Bomb Tower seemed like very late placements. I'm not sure if that was intended, but he just seemed sort of very struggling. Like, he had the cards to deal with it. He had the elixir, but he just sort of let a lot of it leak out. And as we see, like at the bottom, I just consistently saw it going up, and he's just placing the cards very late. And well, maybe that's a mistake, maybe that's intentional, I'm not quite sure. As we do, as you say, get into the 4th game. And, well, quite a lot going on already. Fisherman on the side of Sobro, he's going to be taking down that miner, no issue. And Skeleton Dragons, we haven't seen too much of tonight. I think we've only seen once on the side of Mushroom. So, looking like to be a very sort of air-centric deck. Flying Machine, the Skeleton Dragons, Mega Minion. Wouldn't surprise me if he had a Lava Hound, maybe a balloon up his sleeve. We've seen he likes the balloon, so it really would surprise me.
That would be an extremely scary aerial deck, as it seems Sobro has decided to go for the classic and use the opposing deck's opponent's last choice with the split push balloon combo that worked well for him, as the Miner, Minion, Mega Minion, and Baby Dragon's able to get through. Oh no, he's nice to cleans it up with that snowball, allowing the Mega Minion to get one swing in, but evening the game up rather than losing it thanks to a well-placed double set of spells there from Sobro. But interesting to see Mushroom, still 3 cards yet to be shown. It does look like Sobro has decided to use his deck from last time.
And, well, I called it. The Lava Hound's the big boy. Sobro, has he got anything to try and counter it? Not at the moment. He's obviously got the Hunter, but nothing. As we saw earlier, I think Mushroom, he saw someone else place the Lava Hound. He put down the graveyard, he put down the right graveyard, completely took down the tower. Superbro not quite going for any sort of a rush push, instead going for a very slow push. Royal recruits split attack on both sides. Hunter looking to take down the Lava Hound, who's going to get finished off. Zappy's there to assist them as well. Arrow's not quite taking them down, and it should actually do a lot of damage to that flying machine and the Skeleton Dragons as well. Arrow's helping out, and well, Miner coming in, trying to do what he can. Skeleton Dragons not able to get any hits on the tower, finishes off the Fisherman, but nothing substantial as of yet. He has got the HP advantage, but Super he's got a split push going on here. Look at them, both of them 1800s. The Royal Recruits, they're going to be pushing through. They're going to take down the Goblin Gauge, but not going to do anything more than that. Zappy's looking to counter the flying machine, and they will indeed do that as the game, well, looking to get down to the overtime.
Yes, indeed. As we enter overtime, I'd say your money's got to be on Mushroom at this point. He's just got to get a decent push together, though, with that Lava Hound wave. So Bro can keep playing like he has been. Maybe win through a bit more of a defensive strategy with a few more damage as he now takes the lead on that top left tower as Mushroom lets a bit of damage roll through so he can set up an attack. Needs to get that Lava Hound down some point to have something to work behind. And there it is with a Mega Minion and Flying Machine behind. Zappies and Hunter, though, are great counters to this. The Miner's going to make its way through and hit the back end. It's going to be a big muck-up here in the bottom left, but it's not really going to be enough damage. Well, it's going to be enough to take the lead, but not as much as it really should be for that kind of push. As we see Mushroom preparing to do another one again. That last Flying Machine hit also adding a lot and giving Mushroom a clean lead now. Maybe this will be his game as we see yet another Lava Hound make its way across. Hunter's going to do its best to clean it up and Miner rushes it again. Mushroom just needs to repeat this cycle a few more times and control the lead.
That arrow placement just kind of screwed Subaru there. Obviously, the arrow's coming out the moment that the Royal Recruits are placed. Mushroom didn't even know that they were coming out, but they just go down, they take down all their shields, soften them up for every other hit, as the Flying Machine is going to get a few more hits off. And it's basically Mushroom's game at this point. 500 HP, and Subaru, he's just not getting close. Both of the towers are on 1500 HP, and he's going to be going for an all-in push on the right side. The Cannon Cart, the Barbarians are going to be there to counter each other. And well, the Miner going to do a lot of damage to the left side. Balloon not able to get to the tower. He can't quite get a hit off. Very, very close, but it's not enough. And the Lava Hounds, the Flying Machine, Miner coming in too now. It's just going to go to Mushroom at this point. Arrow's coming in as well to finish it. It's just...
Mushroom took control of that roughly about halfway through when he started placing those Lava Hound downs. Lava Hound downs? Lava Hound downs. It just sounds a bit weird saying that off the sentence of hounds. Anyway, when he started placing those Lava Hound downs and was able to take control of the airs as impressively as he did, which so Bro didn't really have a counter to. I guess, well, really, Hunter and Zappy should have worked much better than it did, but the Flying Machine was able to get behind, do a lot of damage, and Miner rotation was also very impressive. So Bro, Mushroom has now brought this down 2-2-2. Oh, we thought So Bro was going to have this easy, but Mushroom is not letting that happen.
He really isn't. He's not letting go, and he, as I said, he wants that rematch against Will. He wants to go to the UEM and play against some of the best in the continent. We'll have to see if he can do that, as we should be getting into the final game relatively soon. It's just... it's very disappointing for Subaru. He had the split push, he had the damage done, but it wasn't concentrated onto one tower, and Mushroom did exactly that, and it worked out. And is he going to learn his lesson? Is he going to change it up? Is Subaru going to come back and do the exact what Mushroom did earlier? Mushroom got a 2-0 lead, let him come back to 2-2, and then 1-3-2. Is Subaru going to take the 2-0 lead, let Mushroom come back to 2-2, and then take it 3-2? Or is Mushroom coming in with a reverse sweep? I mean, it could go either way.
George Lucas, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Anyway, enough quoting prequel references of such and focusing on these games. Be interesting to see, can Sobro bring back something more focused? You were talking about the difference between split pushing and focusing on one tower. We were having a chat about that a few weeks ago, I recall, and we were saying that, yeah, it's great to split push, but you have to be able to take one of those towers and make it go to sudden death. Which, you know, if you can't do, especially when your opponent is playing one push but play defensively on that one push, yeah, you end up in the situation that Sobro is in that game. Interesting to see, though, Sobro hadn't done split pushes before then, and then decided to. So that was an interesting call. Maybe he will switch back round. As we are just slowly waiting for the final game between these two. Well, and Polio, which one of you've played, guys, which one would you say you'd be more fearing if you were Will?
I don't know. See, on the one hand, obviously Will's played a lot against. I think he's played a lot against both of these. Mushroom's are very much a wild card. He does these wacky decks, and I don't think there's really sort of any way. We said about this at the start. He's probably the most versatile player. You don't know what he's going to bring out. He can bring out any sort of deck, and he makes it work. Super, I mean, we've seen some very sort of strong performances. As we said, he came first twice. Came second twice, and they're both very strong players. I would be worried either way if I were Will, but he's beaten them both. So we'll have to see who is there to challenge him as we do kick it off. Bandit does get a lot of dash damage early on onto the right damage in favor of Super and a little bit on the left as well. As well, he's just going to drop a cannon cart, look to go in, but Barbarian's perfect counter going to be taking that down, only taking down not even one Barbarian. And Skeleton Dragons split in their push to try and do what damage they can.
Well, that leads to a little bit of splash damage on the right-hand tower for Mushroom, who every little bit will help as we come into this final bit. So, bro, a bit on the top right. This final game of the grand finals of losers finals before the grand finals. Very exciting to see, as it seems Mushroom has stuck with a majority air-based deck. A lot of the cards that worked very well for him. So, bro has changed it up to a very fast-paced, log-ish bait, arrow bait almost deck, with Bandit and Wall Breakers and Goblin Barrels and Chaos and Carnage as they make their way across and get blown up by the Goblin Cage, spawning that Goblin Brute, who won't do much on his own, but looks pretty impressive.
Oh, it certainly does, especially with the all the gold jewelry and the Mohawk looking very fancy. And what I was sort of thinking of is that we saw this earlier from Super and it did work out, this sort of light deck, low elixir on his feet all the time, constantly able to sort of counter. And that's the thing, he drops down Wall Breakers, and Mushroom pretty much has to play either the arrows, in which case Subaru has a 1 elixir bonus, or the Goblin Cage, in which case Subaru has a 2 elixir bonus. Either way, he's coming out on top in the trades. And well, now the Bandit and the Goblin Barrel are doing so much damage onto the left side, down to 337, and that may just be it. Obviously, Mushroom, he may bring out this massive push and just push through, take a tower if Subaru can't edge through. But the low elixir cards, the Skeleton's able to distract the Flying Machine, only gets 2 shots off onto that tower. Goblin Cage once again forced out, and here we go, the Lava Hound, the big push. It worked out for Seal Shrimp / Mushroom last time. Will it work out this time? Hunter there to counter it. Goblin Cat able to distract that Goblin Brute for long enough, but the Skeleton Dragons in the middle, they're going to be going over to the left side. Miner taking a lot of damage from the cannon cart and the tower on the left side as well. And, well, the Lava Hound not going to be able to achieve too much. Flying Machine able to do what it can, but can't quite take down the Hunter.
Another set of Wall Breakers come in on the left, get dealt with by the Cage. Double Hunter we saw for a bit there, very effective as the Goblin Barrel come in and gets another set of stabs. 40 health, Zap will be enough, but he doesn't have one. Princess Tower connection will be his easiest shot from here, or Princess connection even. And that looks very likely for this position as Wall Breakers go running in the right and attempt to date something out. Decides to let them run through, apart from letting the Flying Machine deal with one of them. But 40 health cannot stand for long. Can Mushroom? He needs to play something massive or defend and find an opening. It doesn't look very good from here. We see the Goblin Cage go down as a defensive option. The Bandit gets dealt with. Wall Breakers on the right. Lava Hound in the middle. This has to be it. As the barrel goes over it needs instant counter, and it does. The arrows go in with no immediate... This is why you could probably have the Wall Breakers here to counter. There they come again. Is the Cage in time? It does. Lava Hound is wailing on the right-hand tower alongside the pub. Cleared out instantly by what is one of the hardest spells to land. Well, that must be the end of it. Can we find one more hit?
We did it.
And Sober brings his way into the grand final against Mushroom here in losers final. We'll be going up against Will in what must be a very close game. Whoa, the Royal delivery placement there was impressive. For those who don't know,
yeah, lost that.
I honestly thought that maybe he'd lost it there, but for those who don't know, the Royal delivery has this weird lag mechanic on it when you release it, and it's really hard to get the timing right, and he got it perfect against that Lava Hound, which was deeply impressive. What do you think, Ant? There were some just masterful plays there from Sober Bro.
I thought Mushroom had it. The fact he had the Lava Hound in, the Flying Machine coming in, and he's like, oh no, what can he do? What can he do? And then he comes in, takes down the Lava Pups, takes down the insert damage up from the Flying Machine, but he obviously distracted it and allowed the Princess Tower to take him down. I thought he almost choked it, but he didn't. He did, again, a split push, so close, but just about makes it work. I said the low elixir deck is lightness on its feet. Very hard to use that sort of deck against the Lava Hound. Like, Lava Hound, It's 7 elixir, very chunky boy, sits flying through the sky, absorbs so much damage. When you've got things like a princess, and I can't even think some of his air defensive cards, it's very hard to sort of take that sort of, well, the hunter I think it was. It's hard to take Lava Hound out. He made it work. And that's exactly why he deserves to be in the final.
Definitely. That was the biggest proof that SoPro deserves to be here in the final against Will, of course, our reigning champion. SoPro will be looking to take this, hopefully, very well. We're looking for their bans as they get everything sorted. Just wanted to make a point. Yeah, he had a Hunter, which is a pretty solid way of dealing with the Lava Hound, but he lacked a direct spell at the end, which was one of the reasons we were on the edge of our seats, because I guess he had the Goblin Bow, but it's not a direct spell. Those goblins can be shut down, and they were pretty impressively kept in the dark, but not enough, though, as the bans come in. Will be banning Fireball, and SoPro banning Graveyard. Consistent bans from both of them all night from the looks of things. It's going to be interesting to see. I imagine we're going to get a lot of the same from both of them then. Yeah. It's been a long night of me talking as well.
I'm hoping this is good. If Will, he could just come through and super. Obviously, he has that map advantage. This is a best of 7, so if you're unsure, it is the first to get 4 points. So Will, as you can see, he came from the upper bracket. He already has that 1 match advantage, and I think he'd be feeling pretty confident. Obviously, he was able to watch these on stream or in game, and he's sort of getting a feel of SoPro's playstyle, of his decks and whatnot. So logically, he should have the sort of advantage, the prep advantage. He's been able to sit here for the last half an hour, just chilling, having a cocktail and whatnot. Maybe not too much because that would hazard your play. But I'm favouring Will. I favoured Will already. But coming into this, he's definitely going to feel more confident. So, bro, that was very, very close. But also, you've got to be pretty hyped from that. You think, yes, I just beat Mushroom on 2nd. I'm in the finals, boys. But it could go either way. But Will, I think he's going to be more prepped.
Well, either way, both of these two have got their place at the University Esports Masters, a European-wide event with €4,500 prize pool for the two of them. You'd done some maths, and I think you worked out how much that was in real currency. Can you remember from earlier or not?
Real currency. Not Monopoly money. £3,846 and something like 87p. Something along those lines.
Still a lot of money either way. It's a very impressive place. As we get into this final, straight away, SoPro has brought out his signature card for this first round. That is the Hog Rider, and Will with the Zappies. SoPro taking that little advantage on lead as we walk in with a skeleton giant at the back with that big bomb, looking very scary. It looks like Will is going to play defensively as always, and SoPro the aggressive attacker.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he does bring out some sort of a double giant deck. Obviously, it's been working for him. We haven't seen it sort of since he's been using it. But, well, Royal Giant not brought out just as of yet. As the Fisherman, he's going to remain alive. Should get taken down by this tower. And there we go. Hog Rider coming out once again from Zero. He's going to be trying to make this work. Hunter lets him get 1 hit onto the tower, but he does take him out in return as the Spear Goblins are going to get mopped up. And the Hunter should go down to Princess Tower here, but the Royal Giant directly behind him. But, well, what can SoPro do to counter this mighty, mighty card?
Well, we're kind of going to hope, SoPro's going to have to hope he's packed some building, because otherwise it's going to be a much harder fight than it needs to be. The Hunter, though, very good at cleaning up anything that gets too close to it, and dealing with all the splash at the longest of ranges possible. But also looking quite good for SoPro already, having rotated a couple of Hogs in, and the Earthquake spell, another spell we know he likes very well, just to throw out there, even when he doesn't feel he has any extra reason. If he's full of Elixir, you might as well. And the Log also going in for free because he was full on the Elixir and would rather get something out there than sit on it. Bomb Tower, he does have a building. However, it's going to be placed in such a way that I don't think the Royal Giant... No, it is. It is going to connect and it is going to start hitting the Royal Giant. Yet another Earthquake spell, though, from Will is going to allow the Royal Giant to get a couple more hits on and not quite take the lead, while Log nicely cleans up that back end. And the Rider comes riding in, and the Knight does not let the Hog Rider get moved.
Yeah, that was perfectly played from SoPro. That Earthquake as well. And, well, the Hog Rider is going to be dragged away as screaming and kicking from that tower, who almost getting that final hit in to take it down. But now it's Will's turn to play. He's dropped that Giant Skeleton at the back. He should be dropping the Royal Giant anytime soon as well, trying to get this mighty, mighty push all the way through. Zappies at the back. But Suguro, he's got the perfect counter. He's got the Knight, he's got the Hunter. As the Royal Giant does go down, the Fisherman there should be bringing the Knight out of the way. Actually, the Spear Goblins instead, picking them off one by one. As the Royal Giant is going to be pushed all the way in. Both him and the Giant Skeleton go down. The Earthquake is a bit too late. And the Earthquake, in return, saying, you can do it, I can do it too. He drops it on the tower. And, well, it does take it down. 10 seconds left. Good game indeed. And I think this might be it. That Royal Giant, he's going to get distracted by the bomb tower placed behind him as the Hunter and Knight pick him apart. And, well, Suguro, he comes into this game, says you've got a map advantage. Not anymore.
Indeed, indeed. I love it when you place a building on your enemy's side because you get a bit of space to work with once you've taken out one of the towers. And there's always something quite cheeky or funny about it, especially when the Royal Giant just turns around and went, oh, what's that over there? And then had to start dealing with it. We saw the Fisherman there miss his shots. That's the problem with the Fisherman and letting these cards have to auto-aim like they do. It doesn't know what cards are the priorities. It just picks whatever closest and try and bring it closer towards him. So you can trick it out, maybe with a Skeleton, maybe with a Knight, as we saw there, also a bit of tank, and that allowed that Hog Rider to go wild on that Princess Tower, clobbering away and giving that first game to Sobro, evening up Will's so-called advantage. So now we're just, it's just back to, might as well start it from here.
Yeah, back to basics. And I definitely think that would help with, obviously, in other sort of esports and whatnot, momentum's a massive thing. Clash Royale, obviously not so much, but obviously coming from the lower bracket, just about meeting Mushroom, almost joking, but just about beating him. Coming into this final, he's probably going to be thinking, God, it's Will. I lost him. He's the big boy. He's got a map advantage. But taking that map, or the match, straight away there, that's definitely going to help him out. He's thinking, you know what, I can beat this guy. I can do this. It's even footing now. We both have to get 3, that's all I need. That's definitely good for his, I would think that's definitely very good for his confidence. And psychologically, that's a very big part of Clash Royale, and just life in general, I guess, as we do get into the second match. Not too much damage done, only one single hit coming out from the Ice Wizard onto the right side tower, as we are deadlocked and both of them sit there doing nothing.
Well, sitting on their elixir and letting it burn away. We'll wait for one of them to do something vaguely interesting, as always. Interesting to imagine what's going through their minds right now. Will desperate, maybe, to defend onto the title? Or maybe he's just like, it's another game to win. Where Superbro, of course, wanting to take it. As we see the Electro Giant, a card we've seen a fair bit amount of, do great work against that cannon car, letting the Princess Tower deal a fair bit of damage to it with the counter zaps as well. But the Barbarians have been amazing at cleaning it up and will do accordingly, leaving a fair few barbs to work with. But Will decides other lane is good lane and goes for the Skelly Barrel with a tornado to bring it in, which will activate the King Tower.
Honestly, that's so smart from Subaru. He did it against Mushroom with the balloon, and he's done it very unconventional. Like I've personally not seen it a lot happen. Obviously, it's usually a Hog Rider or Goblin Barrel. Don't really see it too much against Skeleton Barrels or a balloon, and he makes it work. And that's a 3 elixir for a 3 elixir trade card, and it works. As you say, it activates the King Tower. That gives them an extra cannon shooting at the enemy, and we'll have to see if Will sort of has an answer, and if that sort of that factor is a very important one. As a clone comes out, the Giant Skeleton is going to get cloned. Same with the Hunter, and one of them's going to go down actually a second as well. The bomb doesn't quite get it close enough to the tower. So close, tantalizingly close, but not close enough, as the cannon cart on the right side is going to be getting quite a lot of shot off and actually takes the HP advantage back into Aro's favour. So looking good as we do get to the final minute, double elixir now, and looking very anyone's game at this point.
Indeed, indeed. So Bro getting that cannon cart. Cannon cart extremely tanky and fast, hard to deal with card in general. I thought those Giant Skeleton bombs, one of them had made it. Now all the clone spells gone down on the flying machines. They're going to easily make their way through, but there's not enough tank to deal with that tower. I stand corrected. There's a bit of tank as the Barbarians will nicely clean up the Electro Giant, as we've seen them do time and time again with the Hunter as well. Skeleton Barrel coming in on the left-hand side, but the King Tower will help clean out. Probably needs something else. The Tornado will do that nicely. One of them getting a few hits in. Yet another Electro Giant on the right-hand side has a bit of health. Arrows to say no, and the Cannon Cart needs dealing with. Ooh, Will takes a slight lead on that left-hand tower, and a bit now because that Cannon Cart's been allowed to connect.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, and well, getting off, what, 3-4 shots there definitely allows and opens up more options for Will. If he wants to stick on a 3 elixir Skeleton Barrel on the right side, he can do. It's not a bad thing, it's not a bad option. It's actually viable now. Obviously, the left tower is slightly better on 12 on HP, and that's what he's trying for. Again, Skeleton Barrel dropped down on the left side, pulled away by that Goblin Cage, as the Giant Skeleton on the right side is going to continue to push. Clone helps it out, is going to be clearing up the Baby Dragon and the Ice Wizard. as the flying machine is going to be able to at least try connect a few shots, but the Baby Dragon says no. And he's going to be, not actually, he is going to be pulled away by that cannon cart. Hunter coming in return to clear him up, as the cannon cart supported by the flying machine is looking to try his luck on the left side. And as I said, the right side's opened up. It's viable now. Skeleton Barrel being pushed down, Clone coming out as well, and it gets taken down. Skeleton Barrel is pushing in, the Tornado's going to draw them away, and the Barbarian Barrel there to clean up. Perfectly played from SoPro, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, SoPro's going to be kicking himself on that earlier mistake and letting that cannon cart roll through, allowing both of those towers to open up because he's been playing amazingly since then. As we enter triple elixir, this is where we can go slightly crazy with the card placement, and we'll see if it happens as lightning rains down from the sky for SoPro, dealing with that mid push as we see yet another skeleton barrel make its way across. SoPro sitting on a lot of elixir and not playing it. There we go. There's the giant skeleton. There's the giant electro giant right in the same lane as the giant skeleton. It's all going off with all these giants going everywhere, and a bit of another push with the double cannons on the left-hand side for Will, making both ends very scary. This is looking particularly good for Will. Both pushes looking rather mean. With clones. Oh no, the left-hand side has been dealt with nicely. The right-hand side will go down similarly thanks to that. Thank you to that electro giant. Lining not being enough. This is looking good for Will. Just needs to hold out for the last 6 seconds on that bottom left-hand tower. It looks like he's going to let it fall through. Look at all those gullies. They are not going to actually clean up thanks to the Barbarian Barrel, but it's enough. And Will regains the one map or one game advantage over SoPro here in the Grand Finals.
That was such a strong push from SoPro on the right side. He had the Electro Giant, he had the Baby Dragon, and then obviously Will put down the Barbarians to counter the Giant Skeleton. But the Baby Dragon, obviously with the area damage, the Barbarian Barrel coming in and just rolling it. The Electro Giant, constantly just zapping the Barbarians from the sky, takes them down. And that almost worked out for SoPro. Obviously very, very close. And that Baby Dragon, if he would have got a few hits onto it, that could have won him that game. But perfectly, just in the nick of time, Will drops that Giant Skeleton right at the end, and obviously at that point he can't do any more damage, or SoPro can't do any more damage to his towers. Will's going to win on HP, and I think SoPro only knew that. But what he's going to do, he's going to dust himself off. He's going to come straight back into this next match flying. He knows he can beat them. He's done it once already. So, bring your A game, man. You're still in this game. It's only one map advantage down. Well,
yeah, well, he's come back from one map advantage already to level things up last time. These guys are the best. We've seen some amazing plays in that last game. Although so defensive there from Will to make sure he won that with the giant skeleton going in. And aggressive from SoPro making those plays, trying to get forward, especially in the last game with those amazing hog rider moves. Surprised that he changed up as much as he had. Will sticking. But interesting to see what they decide to bring card and deck wise going into game 3 of this best of 7. And it doesn't look like anybody is inching ahead at the moment.
It really doesn't, yeah, as we do, well, get into the third game, but technically fourth in terms of points. And we'll have to see, as you said, does SoPro bring out the Hog Rider again? It worked the first time. Is he going to try it again? And if so, has Will, is he expecting this? Is he reading? Is he going, you know what, I know what you're going to do. I know you're going to bring out the Hog Rider. I've got the perfect counter for it. Obviously, we saw earlier on, the Bomb Tower was very efficient at drawing the Hog Rider away, but SoPro's Earthquake spell, that was good at taking out if it was perfectly timed. So we'll have to see as we do sit here and wait for them to place a card. Why is this happening now? We spend the entire night going fine, and then everyone just sits there. We get to the final. You know what? Just make him wait. Make him wait.
Let's make the commentators do their best to come up with something. Okay? No, well, Will has already taken a slight lead by just throwing out that snowball, which at this point could be all that matters as we kind of wait and tick through. The first minute is almost elapsed. I can't just sit here all night, can we, lads? Come on, someone's got to do something interesting. What can we expect? Come on, somewhere. Any sort of waiting, they're taunting at each other. Come on, lads. We're going to be here for half an hour otherwise. Don't make our job any harder. Is SoPro disconnected or something? No sign of it anywhere else.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Come on, lads. What if you make a play? Is this just going to be a full long... See, even our fabulous producer Patrick is angry enough with them now to get involved with the taunting. Thank you there, Patrick. Maybe eventually we'll get a play out of one of them. Can we disqualify them both? Is that loud?
I mean, if SoPro doesn't do anything, then Will's going to win on HP. Maybe they just want to play double elixir. Maybe this is strategic. Silverbro has like a very sort of double elixir-centric deck, and he's just waiting for you. You know what? You won't place anything. I won't place anything. I'm good in double elixir. I'm better in double elixir, man. Just watch me go.
They've both brought the heaviest decks ever. They've both accidentally brought their double elixir 2v2 deck or something. As we enter double elixir, let's see if that's right. It looks like it might be, as Will has enough and finally drops the Royal recruits on the back line. Let's see what Silverbro's brought to this party as it finally gets interesting on double elixir. Will going for splits. Silverbro possibly going for singles.
Yeah, and a hell of a lot of elixir leaked there. 45.6 for Silverbro. We'll have to see if it does come back to haunt him, as the Baby Dragon is going to clean house on the left side of the Royal Recruits and the Zappies. They're looking to go through and get a few hits onto that tower, and that may be all that counts at this point in the game. As the Electro Giant on the right side is looking to do his best. Well, Royal Recruits are once again dropped down by Will, this time very defensively, as the cannon cart taken down by the lightning, but not finished off by the lightning, does take up all the damage from the Electro Giant and stop him there. Zappy supporting that final Royal Recruit, taking down the cannon cart, and the Royal Recruit on the left side, he's doing his hardest, he's getting a few stabs in, and well, Will currently in the lead. As a balloon goes down on the left side from Will. We haven't actually seen him so far tonight, I believe, actually using a balloon. So looking to try and do his best. He's going to take down the Goblin Cage, but he's going to be slowed down by the Ice Wizard and won't get to the tower in time. As the counter-offensive comes out from Silverbro, the Electro Giant once again supported by the Ice Wizard, supported by the Cannon Guard. But, well, is he going to be taken down by these Royal Recruits? The Tornado bring them all together, and the Hunter is going to be the man to finish him off.
Well, the Royal Recruits are a very good counter to the Electro Giant, with their shield adding a bit more defense as a balloon goes in for the left-hand side for Will, looking very strong in this double elixir game, it would seem. As he tries to make his way across, the cage will deal with him quite nicely. Very interesting to see that they both decided to go for waiting for double elixir, when I think most of these decks would have worked perfectly well, and we've seen them work perfectly well outside of it. But apart from that, we're seeing the cannon cart make its way across on the right-hand side and a couple of zappies on the left. Cannon cart is nicely dealt with by those pesky Royal Recruits. A really great defensive card to just place anywhere and go good luck getting past this one, mate. As we see the Hunter placed at the back and the Electro Giant push from Silverbro. Electro Giant, I feel, has too many counters, and there's the Fisherman dragging it all the way to the center. It's going to get eaten away extremely quickly. Lightning rains in, which does actually give Silverbro the lead on that right-hand tower, and given we're already in overtime, it's going to look good with 50 seconds on the clock. Will is going to have to get a decent push here with no major spell to his name. The balloon is going to be good enough, maybe good enough. And everything gets brought together towards that Goblin Cage. But the balloon is yet to take a hit. The power of the Tornado, though, decides he's going to hit the King Tower instead. And at that point, it doesn't matter how much damage the King Tower takes. It keeps going in overtime. So, right-hand lane push looking good for Will. Extremely well played for Silverbro. Oh, can he cling on?
And that's the question that's on everyone's lips. He's going to be pushing in with that balloon. The arrow is trying to cover it, and the balloon may just get it for the Tornado. Last minute, there we go. It comes out. We see it, and he's completely pulled away from that tower. So with that lightning, he's just done enough to take down the right tower in terms of HP, take that bonus, and take the equalizing point back to 2-2. And honestly, this final's just giving and giving.
It's giving and giving as long as we get the 2 minutes to get to double elixir, huh? But ignoring that, we did see some amazing plays when they started placing down some cards, waiting for that extra bit of elixir in both of their tanks to go crazy. I mean, yeah, fair. They were both running pretty expensive decks, but also their decks we've seen all night wasn't really worth it. Like, was it, lads? I guess it was good fun. But never mind that. The Royal Recruits were interesting plays, but we've seen this go back and forth, I think, a fair bit so far tonight, with the Electro Giant just getting eaten away by all those Royal Recruits. Electro Giant is really good at dealing with small armies, Skarmy and Minion Horde. It cannot deal with chunky armies like Royal Recruits and Barbarians as we go into what is... it's game 4, isn't it? Yes, game 4, but points-wise, game 5. 2-2 each.
And well, we're seeing a deck that has relatively consistently worked for Silverbro, and that is the very light on its feet, low elixir deck, consisting of a Princess, Goblin Barrel, and Skeletons. And as we see there, Princess perfectly good, very good for dealing with the Royal Recruits, and obviously Skeletons there just to distract. It's such a cheap card, only 1 elixir, and they just do such a fantastic job of just pulling them away from their target. As, well, Bandit going down, we've seen him, as I say, once before. I think his dash does get neutralized by the Fisherman, but he still remains alive. Wallbreaker's on the right side. Will, what can he do to deal with it? Snowball going down, Goblin Barrel on the left side, but the arrows are there to cover it. Perfectly played from Will. The Hunter taken down by the Skeletons. And, well, it's looking very even at this point already.
Will perfectly played there. He could have thrown the arrows on the wrong side and then wouldn't have been so effective against the Goblin Barrel. A really great choice to go the way he did with the snowball where he did and the arrows where he played it. Very nicely done there from Will, shutting down that push and giving him a slight lead, I guess. But not really enough to worry about, as the Fisherman's not going to do much. And look at this, as two wall breakers and the Goblin Barrel are able to connect to the right-hand tower and get a nice stab in. But Will is not having any of it and places that quick balloon in the left. The Hunter, on the other hand, is not going to stop it. The snowball causing the Hunter to have to re-aim his shot, reconnect, and not be able to get that fire speed that he would have done otherwise, allowing one more hit from the balloon. Now bringing the advantage back to Will. That was a very well-played snowball. The knockback on the snowball tonight has been a real interesting decision maker as we enter Double Elixir.
Yeah, that's certainly, I think it's an understatement, if anything. That snowball has been crucial for so many players tonight. And, well, we'll have to see it again, possibly, as, well, perfectly played from Will, does get the advantage. Goblin Barrel coming out, neutralized by those arrows. And the cannon cart, he's going to get sandwiched by the Princess Towers, the Fisherman, and the Royal Recruits. And so he's going to be trying his hardest. Cannon cart there to try to take down the Fisherman. Hunter taken down by the rival cannon cart in the form of Will. And once again, he does drop the balloon. He's going to get pulled to the side by the cannon cart, but eventually finished off by his own cannon cart. He's going to continue to push there. Hunter, is he a bit too late? No, he's perfect. Fires off a shot, the Princess Tower finishing him off, but the bomb is going to do so much damage, down to 172. And at this point, Will can just cycle spells. He can cycle this, the arrows. He can cycle the snowball. That should finish off. He's going to play defensively. He can't let Subaru get any cheeky goblins through. He can't let the wall breakers get through. That's exactly what he's playing to try and counter. The Zappies are there, the cannon cart's there, the Fisherman's there. And at this point, it may just be his as he drops the balloon on the left side. Hunter there once again to try and counter it, but the arrows go down. And he's trying to get there, but the balloon, it can't get there. Bombs dropped a bit too short. And well, so he's still in this, but Will, it's his game to lose. 79 HP left on that tower.
As those wall breakers just come short, and this Goblin Barrel will be answered with the Hunter, which will do the job just about. Surprised he even went for that balloon there, Will. He could have easily just gone for the spell rotation, but where is the honor in that? I suppose as there, it's the honor in that, as the arrows go flying out at the end. The honor is to win, of course, and at this point, that's all that matters, as Will brings himself one step closer to the victory here at the New York Clash Royale for the spring season, to take 2 seasons in a row. He only has to win the next game, so bro, now has to come back and win the next 2.
Yeah, he certainly does, and well, I mean, so far it's been Subaru, Will, Subaru, Will. Is Subaru going to take the next one? Is he going to take to 3-3? Are we going to go the full length? And will he finally break the pattern and win another game, 2 games in a row? That is certainly the question, and it worked out, obviously, as I said, it worked out for Subaru early on against the other opponents with that very light deck. Didn't quite work out this time. Will, he had him sort out. The Goblin Barrel, it's useless against arrows. If he just keeps that in his hand, Goblin Barrel comes out, arrows down, can't do any damage. 3 for 3, you don't get a trade, a positive trade, you don't get a negative trade, you don't get any damage, that's it. And obviously, that I said, I'm pretty sure I said earlier on, I think it was when Subaru was versus Mushroom, that deck doesn't really have very good air defense. Only the Hunter, only the Princess. And we saw it. The balloon is slipped through, helped by the snowball, and that's exactly what won it for Will. As he's looking to take this next one, in slightly stylish fashion perhaps, he brings out the Mega Knight, as the minions as well, has the wall breakers. And, well, we'll have to see quite what Subaru can bring out in return. He's got that Hog Rider, and is he going to be going for his classic Hog Rider cycle deck? I think we may just see that.
Well, it's looking like that as the moment as we see the Mega Knight fight it off. Classic on ladder everywhere as we try and deal with this cannon cart and do not let it reach. That's what we call a defensive placed bomb tower. But will he will punish with these wall breakers who will split all the way through. So we're having no answers to them whatsoever and takes a chunky bit of damage for this early on the left-hand side of the battlefield. Won't be happy about that, Will So Broke, but he's now sitting on a fair bit of elixir, which is strange, considering he likes to cycle fast. As Will goes in with the miner and minions, and, well, Sobro just plays down that Earthquake spell to make sure he doesn't sit on too much.
That's, I'm going to call it now, that's going to come back to haunt Super Bro. The fact that he just lets those wall breakers get through, both of them go off, they do so much damage to the tower, that's certainly going to, as we see, it works out in Will's favour, obviously, and that may just be the linchpin, I believe that's the correct phrase, that that is actually going to work out in Will's favor. And that Zap goes down, takes down that Goblin. I think it was no, sorry, Spear Goblins, not Goblin Gang, and well, cleans them up. Cannon Guard is going to be cleaned up in return, and he gets. I don't think he got any shots off at all. And well, back sort of even footing once again. But Will is in the lead by about 600 HP, and that may be what counts. Ludo gets double elixir now, 1 minute left. Miner going down, Wall Breakers as well, but they are completely taken down by that bomb tower.
Yes, but the Miner's going to have an opportunity to get a few more swings in, as well as the arrows cleaning up the problematic that would have been the Spear Goblins. Hog Rider is going to get very sadly dealt with by the Mega Knight now coming on the right-hand side. Very scary push there, but that's not on the tower, which is taking the most damage, while Miner goes in and is probably going to be allowed to leave alone. No wall breakers are going to behind it. Bomber Tower needs to go down to take that hit, and the right-hand side is going to be dealt with by the Hunter Knight combo. Knight, such a reliable card against the Mega Knight, as Hog Rider comes in on the alternative lane with minions to clean it up, reduce that damage output. But this is looking extremely good for Will, who just is kind of cycling Miner to keep ahead. Letting that Knight roll through as the Prince hits the Spear Goblins right in the middle and is cleaned up. But with time ticking away almost into overtime now, this is looking extremely good for Will, who can cycle if he wants to, or can try and find a big push somewhere. I mean, he's already playing a cycle deck, so I guess he will continue cycling, really, won't he?
I would think so, yeah. And the Hog Rider, he does slip through the Mega Knight's fingers, just gets one hit on the tower, but at this point, you just got to do a lot of work. That's got to happen relatively continuously. And Will, he's going to be continuously cycling, as we said, with the Miner. He's going to get 2 hits off on the tower. Minions, they're going to be cleaned up, and that's a nice push on the left side that you can look to come through. As the Hog Rider once again is going to go down. Prince looking to try counter him. He's going to stop him from getting any more than 1 hit once again. But if that continuously happens, Sobro, he can get back into this. He has to be careful here. Will has to be, both of the players have to be very careful here. As a push on the left side is coming through. Wall Breakers and Cannon Guard taken down by the bomb tower. Miner continuously doing damage though, and that HP on that tower is getting lower and lower. As the Hog Rider once again comes out, minions are going to be trying to clean him up. They're going to be doing so much damage, but he does get 2 hits off. And it's getting down to the wire here, so close. As we still got 1 minute left.
Yeah, so Bro is not out of this yet. He's going to need a few good hogs on that right-hand side. The Earthquake spell will help a lot, but those arrows coming in nicely, and the Miner connecting to the tower will mean it's extremely weak. One more Miner needs to get through for Will, so Bro needs a good push. Here it is. This has to be it, and it won't be the Mega Knight coming down. The Earthquake spell doing a fair bit of damage with a push on the right, with the Miner coming in on the left, and the arrows. It's connected to the Knight, though. It's not going to be able to get that free damage, though. However, Will can, if he wants to end this extremely quickly with both arrows and zappable tower paints left. The Earthquake log is not enough, and the arrows rain in, ending the final and giving Will, our returning champion, victory here at the Newell Clash Royale Spring Season.
2 for 2, baby!
2
Winter
for
and
2.
spring, Will. He is the Clash Royale Spring Season champion, and that was so close. And honestly, everyone tonight has been a fantastic competitor, and that final, honestly, you couldn't really ask for too much more. Perhaps a final map, but that final one, so close. If Super just perfectly just slipped through, Hog Rider getting 1 or 2 hits more on, he could have taken that to the third map. But Will was just, he played it so perfectly. I have a feeling he read that well. I think he knew that he was going to take the Hog Rider, so he brought out the Mega Knight, which obviously he has the landing bonus damage, he has the hitting, and only lets him get 1 hit. And obviously the minions, if they come in to support it, they do damage as well. They don't take any damage themselves. And, well, that's a perfect push on the right side. Takes down the Hog Rider, and it's a push setup already. And that's just so played from Will, and that's exactly why he's this Spring Season champion.
Indeed. He really was able to put the pressure on there. We were slacking, so Bro, maybe getting those quite as many hog pushes in as he'd want to. Maybe not be able to push them in on both sides. But yes, Will definitely deserved that victory. The Miner there at the end, I thought maybe Sobro's going to be able to cling on, but Will decides, look, I understand that killing you with spells, it's not the most honorable thing to do, it's not the most stylish, but it's the final game of the Newell summer season, the spring season. I need to win now, okay? Let me win! So he decided to do the wise thing and, yeah, won. I think it was a fair move on his half.
Smart. Honestly, I said this during the sort of the middle of the season that he doesn't underperform, but he sort of sits there. He's just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm cool, I'm gonna get points to get a decent seed, but not play fantastic and not play my heart out. He's just gonna do what he does, sort of just chill. Gets to the final and he goes, all right, lads, I'm putting my Clash Royale hat on. I'm gonna slap everyone, and that's exactly what he does. Goes through the upper bracket, gets to the final. He's challenged very well. It wasn't an easy clean sweep, but he won. And that's what he wanted to do, and we see it come to fruition. It's very nice. It's very enjoyable, and it's been a fantastic night, honestly, from every single player here.
Yeah, Will has done an amazing job making his way all the way through winners bracket. We are hoping to have a quick conversation with him shortly. Just letting the production team get that together. He's been up against Mushroom. He's been up against SoPro, who did so well to come second. Mushroom coming in third. Chocoholics fourth, and JJ Legends fifth. Interesting outcome to all of those, but not an unexpected results there at all. Very well done. We're just getting him nicely set up. Highlight of the night, please, Anne, or card, or just one moment that stood out the most.
I just want to say, just before that, I want to say a shout out to Samstar. We do appreciate you turning up as well. Very unfortunate he could not be here this week, but I'm sure he would have definitely given everyone a good challenge sort of thing. But yeah, very unfortunate from him. But yeah, favourite of tonight?
Yes.
I don't know. There's been so many good games, honestly. The consistent use of Graveyard just being so important. Then down to the wire, I think the Will and Mushroom is in the upper bracket. That was very, very close. It's like the first two maps, they went down to HP. Very stalemate-ish sort of thing. But so many of these games have just been so close. The Electro Giant, I think, has been very interesting. The fact that I think SoPro is the only person who's used him, I think. And he's made it work. The fact he's got to the final, I'm pretty sure he won some games with it. It's very interesting to see. And yeah, an unusual card that's so expensive. You wouldn't think perhaps it would work, but it's brought out some different playstyles, and it's nice to see.
I think we've learned a lot about the game casting this for the last few weeks. I know I have for sure. Electro Giant, a card I would have, shoved under the rug. It's kind of being a bit meh. And I still think it's not great. There's still a lot of good counters to it. Royal Recruits, I think, have been the card of the entire tournament. But Snowball's knockback, as we said a lot of times through this, has been deeply impressive to see. It was very unexpected all the times I've seen Snowball used as effectively as the log, or even arrows, or other cards that do more damage and are, on the whole, considered better. But, sometimes you just need more options, and the Snowball grants them.
Yeah, in terms of cards, very, very versatile. Obviously, it does the damage, it does the slow mechanic, it does the spreading sort of mechanic. For only 2 Elixir, we've seen why it's been used basically almost every single game. It's very versatile, very useful. I think I'm just have to go with the Graveyard. It's such an annoying, cheeky card though for actual cards. But well, yeah, so many cards have been used, and that's exactly why it's such a range. Rather than just everyone going with one single meta, we've seen a sort of a wide range from everyone, and it's very good to see.
Anyway, now we have Will, our champion. Hello, Will. How are you doing, and how are you feeling?
You are currently muted.
You're currently muted, mate.
On Discord. Oh.
Nothing but a technical issue, is there?
He's excited. He's excited. He's gone all the way through. He's beaten everyone. He's just like, you know what? Just give him a second. It's fine.
Need to unmute on Discord, Will.
Just give him a second. Don't worry. I like his hat. It's very nice.
We'll give him a moment. What are we looking forward to? What are you going to think we should ask him, man? I'm interested to see how he feels after all that, and how he thinks SoPro was such a good opponent. Two wins in a row is deeply impressive from him as well. Does he think he's going to be able to keep that performance going into a fourth season of Clash Royale, which we assume would happen soon? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what goes down.
Yeah, maybe you could ask a very generic, boring question like, yeah. So, what do you think of the balance changes incoming?
No, let's leave them. We could talk about them at any other time. This is the same. Yeah. This is the same Will who we have to thank for sorting out the entire balance change fiasco. He was the first person to get in contact and be like, "What is going on? Are these being released today or not?" And thank goodness he did, because I'd written out an entire paragraph on all the changes that we expected to see and what cards, decks we were not going to have, and all that kind of stuff. And just the whole. And then I was like, oh, okay, I don't need that anymore. Delete. Anyway, let's see if Will is back with us and able to unmute his microphone. Hope so. I'd love to get a few questions in.
He slaps and does very well in Clash Royale. But, oh, he's gone again.
It's been all over the place.
Oh,
See, there we go.
Hello.
Is that better? Hello?
There we go.
Hello?
can
Hold on,
hear it.
wait,
Yeah,
I
we can
see
hear you.
myself.
Quite quiet though.
Oh, right, on the web. Right, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, now, welcome.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
How are you feeling, Will?
Pretty happy, pretty stoked. Like, you know, I've been doing badly all season, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, finally pulled it out of the bag. You know, stop being a bit like at the back of the group. So yeah, no, it's good. It's good feeling. Like, obviously, like, well done to everyone. Really, like everyone played fantastically today. And like some real great matches, some new decks as well. Like I think everyone was really playing against the bans at the moment. Like you had some like really good decks out of Mushroom, you had some really good decks out of Sopro that you hadn't seen like before. I think like under the pressure, everyone was kind of like, right, this is a game of snipes. Let's see if we can like try and counter each other's strategy and things.
Yeah, it's interesting how you say that. What were your thoughts on the bans? Because they were new to this season, am I right?
I think they're fantastic. Like, because my competitive like experience goes back quite a while. Like I started like 3 years ago. Playing this game, bans have always been like in competitive. You need bans. If you want to like set up a competitive tournament, you need bans because bans kind of like throw in the added skill cap where you're not like one of those players that right. I'm going to resort to the same deck over and over again, and because I know how to play this matchup, everything goes their way. But with bans in the mix, you know, Mushroom isn't allowed to use Loon. Sopro's not allowed to use Hog. You know, you see it. Everyone kind of like switches up their decks.
It's forced a lot of very interesting plays throughout this tournament.
Totally.
It's been great to see. I do want to ask one question. What were you doing waiting for double elixir in about that third or fourth game? We had to add in massively there, thanks to you lot.
See, I think I think me and Sopro both had like a moment. Let me wait. So it was the third or fourth game because it depends on our decks. Because usually with beatdown decks, so like Electro Giant is the new one. Used to be Golem, that was the popular one, but with Electro Giant and especially Recruits, you don't want to make those kind of like big investments earlier on in single elixir because it's so easy to punish someone. Sopro plays an Electro Giant in the back, I can punish him with a Loon and a Cannon Cart or something on the other lane. It was kind of like wait until double elixir so that like if one of us did play one of those cards, they'd have like a safety net. So, you know, you'd have more elixir to defend whatever's on the opposite lane. That's why a lot of beatdown players do play that.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was Mushroom versus someone. I think was it Sober Bro? He put the Lava Hound to the right, and then immediately I think Mushroom put down the Knight, put down the Graveyard, and just took that tower. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. Like perfect example. It's just instant tower gone, and that's game because like if they can defend, then the Lava Hound push on the opposite lane, you're good as gone. You're good as gone.
So,
but yeah.
Will, do you think you'll be back to defend your title for a third season in a row?
Yes, if they do a third season, like I'm hoping and praying, fingers crossed that they do a third season. It's so much fun. Like the entire atmosphere of it all is so much fun. I'm sure you guys get like a real kick out of casting it because it's an enjoyable game to cast. It gets so intense sometimes. You get like 1 second between a victory sometimes, and it's just, you know, and it's quite an easy game to understand really. So it makes it good for new players that want to come in to kind of like understand it. You know what I mean?
And how are you looking forward to taking part in the University Esport Masters alongside second place Soper Bro?
Well,
think you could work well with him?
I'm gonna have to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I think me and Sopro have a good chance, especially Sopro. He's a fantastic player. He practices like so much, and it pays off and it shows. Like I think I only got lucky in those last few games because of like good matchups. But Sopro Bro is such a solid player, and like, you know, if Fireball wasn't banned, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here. Okay, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. He's a fantastic player, so I have high hopes for him. Such high hopes.
As an add-on to that, I just want to ask, perhaps a cheeky quick question.
Go for it.
Who's the best / worst player you like playing against? As we've said that obviously you come across Mushroom a lot, but who do you constantly think, oh god, I'm against Mushroom again, he's annoying, or do you think, oh, I'm against Ibero, he's a very good player, whatnot? Like, what are your thoughts on that sort of thing?
So the way I think of it is, I know with Mushroom, you know, he knows me so well, so his approach to a game will be to like, not snipe me, but like snipe me. He will have like the idea of what I'm gonna play, and he'll know what I'm gonna do, and vice versa. Like I'll play. You saw what I played earlier. I played Graveyard, Snowball, Bomb Tower, 3 games in a row because I knew Mushroom, Loon player. He's one of the best out there, and you know, if you're gonna play anything, you've got to play the Bomb Tower Snowball combo because it absolutely destroys Loon. For Sopro Bro, I think I'd worry more about Sopro Bro because he's so well practiced. In like things like ladder, you see him racking up points in CRL, the Clash Royale League. So he's got 100% like, yeah. I mean 100%. I'd be worried more about Sopro Bro, but that's only because I know Mushroom on a personal basis.
Fair enough.
I can see that being an advantage, knowing someone's playstyle so well. Well, there you go, guys. There's a bit of a shout out from the top here for how good you are. I'm very excited to see you and Sopro go and represent Team GB at the University Esports Masters. Congratulations once again, Will, on an amazing set of tournaments and an amazing
Can I ask a favour
final.
quickly?
Go for it, mate.
Because I just want to say, first off, thank you to my analyst, because I did have an analyst for this. You know, whenever there's tournaments and things, I call in like one of my old comp mates to come and do the analysis. So thanks to Master, because he's a fantastic analyst. He did some really big competitions back in the day, and he's a great guy, and he's done like so well for me today, like picking out different parts of play styles and things. And also thanks to obviously BU, my society, because without them I wouldn't be here now. So if you excuse me, hats off to them.
Well done.
Put that hat back on.
Well done at the end there, Will. And
No,
well done
you.
tonight. Absolutely
Cheers,
amazing
guys.
play. It's
Thank
been a
you for
pleasure having you on.
Thank you
we've
so
done our best.
much.
Wow, that was a good conversation. Very good man, isn't he? Very happy with that victory, I can imagine.
Yeah, he's gonna be thrilled. He's gonna be having I would say a party. It's a Monday night, but then again, I mean, he's got a reason to. So I hope he enjoys that, and I like to try and follow it. Hope he does well along with Super in the UEM. Yeah, I look forward to seeing him, some more of him, and especially if the seasons continue.
Well, same. I'm very excited to see how this entire thing plays out. Will makes a very good point. He hadn't been playing perfectly throughout this season, hadn't really hit any high notes, but sometimes a bit of pressure right at the end is all that is required to make your way through to the final. And of course, Sobro keeps up his run of keeping only firsts and seconds the entire tournament, which is also deeply impressive. I bet he'll do well at the working together at the UEM. We should probably get this show off the air at some point. I could just talk about Clash Royale all night, I think. What have we got? So, coming up soon on the finals week here at the Newell, tomorrow we will have CSGO, which will be the grand final for themselves. Derby Gods versus Bath's A-team. More representation from Bath. Bath on form, it would seem, this spring season when it comes to esports. As always, check out the Newell here, obviously on Twitch. You can find the Discord, which is available to all university students and pre-university students, so you can meet up with people who are also interested in esports and Clash Royale, maybe even be here for next season of Clash Royale. And of course on Twitter, where you could find all of the action there as well.
Yeah, so I think we should give a shout out to the sponsors, obviously Unite Students, Twitch Student, and Logitech G. So obviously thank you for them, and also shout out to our producer Patrick, who's made all of this possible. We wouldn't be here without him. And also the admins, Kaf, he's been fantastic organising all of this. He's had to deal with everything, and he's kept this show on the roads. And I believe that's it. So if that's everything, unless you have anything else to say, Watson, I would like to say goodnight to everyone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Night all.